So the tweets that are in question would be this. After hitting Champ 1 both 5v5 and 6v6, this season I can safely say rank has no meaning in this game anymore. Hitting the highest rank in the game, Champ 1, is equivalent to probably around 4.3 KSR in Overwatch. That wouldn't have even put you in the top 500 before roll queue. All these Overwatch 2 players would be slotted back then when good players used to be player ranked. It's crazy to think that even a rank 1 player today in today's rank probably wouldn't even be within top 500 players just a few years ago. Adding heroes like Kiriko, Juno, Sojourn, Hazard, Ram, and Mauga, as well as making the rank system based on our playtime rather than actual skill, copied from our rivals, has done irreparable damage to ranked. Playing a 4.5 to 4.6k lobby, which are supposedly like the equivalent of Champ 5 and Champ 4, if we just use the number, it's not true. In Overwatch 1, I feel like you played an actual professional game fighting for your life. Now it feels like I'm playing a game of Marvel Rivals Quick Play. One of the biggest reasons the rank has no meaning is the fact that they change it every season. If you're going to make a rank system, you must never change the rank distribution ever, otherwise it's meaningless. Anytime you ask for someone rank, and you have to ask, was it in boosted season, was it with Kiriko, was it before they added champion, were you stacking? Champ actually slightly meant something for a couple of seasons and then retained more players, just made it easy to get. They did this with Grandmaster at first, then Champion, and now even top 500 with a Challenger score. If you disagree with any of this, or it makes you mad, then you're Overwatch 2 boosted and will never get the satisfaction of hitting highest star in Overwatch 1. Interesting, you know? And then you just kind of continue Hammond every time Blizzard release a new hero trailer. It's kind of true. And then he basically showed a bug, and then he kind of jutsu added with that. In 2021, you queue into pros, your rank glows and the number shines. You want to play Tracer, but see Oni God on your team, so you give him Tracer because it's simply better. Then you see Sparker on the enemy team, so you'd be like, oh shit, I gotta lock in, miss those times. Picture from an old Overwatch 1 lobby where you could see, like, you know, your rank when you click tab, a bunch of pro players, very stacked lobbies. It's true. Never forget what I took from you. Competitive gaming needs its Elden Ring moment. The game made every game studio realize they could actually make a punishing game that isn't just feel good slop and succeed. Some game is eventually going to have a rank system that will actually make you feel terrible and for losing, which in turn makes winning feel way better. Overwatch 1 did this perfectly with SR, but they swapped it out for this glorified leveling system. Just because your retention number looks good short term doesn't mean you're building a core audience invested in your game. Exploiting a few casual players to buy your new Mythic Kiriko skin by buffing her won't help long term. At the end of the day, make good game equals long term invested audience. Optimize for retention, your shareholders happy for a week. What's up, guys? What's up, everybody? Good to have you here, including every single yeah. And then we have here we go again, adding a new rank and boosting everyone up. Is it really worth ruining the entire ranked system? So Timmy will play for 5 more minutes and might accidentally buy something because you have 500 confusing currencies in game. They didn't even bother making a new icon for the new rank. It's literally just a recolor of the plat icon before they change it. Why do you even need a new rank? What is going on, Blizzard? Yeah, there's a new rank, by the way, today coming on. And that one, the most viral one, no, the most viral, but like it's pretty viral. And a lot of streamers like had a, you know, it's becoming increasingly obvious to me that no content creators are talking negatively about any aspects of Overwatch because they're essentially on illegal undisclosed payroll from Blizzard, using the exclusive Twitch drop system as a loophole. Blizzard exclusive OWCS co-streaming drops were given to 91 streamers, and the rules say that co-streams will be monitored by the OWCS, ensure all guidelines are upheld, including maintaining a positive environment. Then right after it says, we reserve the rights to remove co-streamers from the program at any time. Essentially, they're saying maintain a positive environment when streaming or our game, or we will remove you from the program. Now, the question becomes, why wouldn't they just give drops to everyone if they're already going to give them to 91 people? Because they can add or remove you from that list at any time for whatever reason they choose. When streaming with exclusive drops, you can see a massive increase when viewers, and as a result, revenue potentially up to 10 times your normal viewership. Blizzard doesn't necessarily have to directly pay a streamer or explicitly tell them to speak positively about the game, but they control access to something that can significantly increase the creative revenue. At any point, Blizzard could take away your exclusive drops access, and your viewership and revenue could plummet as a result. Even if Blizzard never explicitly threatens to do that, that incentive is still there. After not playing the game for a year or two, I came back and immediately noticed the blatant lack of quality, terrible rank system, and scummy monetization Blizzard has been pushing lately, and yet I noticed almost no content creators talking negatively about it. I'm not calling out the content creators for this or saying they're purposely glazing the game for money. The point is that there is an inherent bias created by the system, whether it's conscious or not. So when listening to or reading any content creator's opinion about Overwatch, do some research into whether they have access or these exclusive drops. It doesn't automatically mean their opinion is dishonest, but it does mean that they may be undisclosed financial incentive and conflict of interest behind it. This is also happening industry-wide, not just an Overwatch problem. There's a bunch of people who retweeted that. You can see like the quotes and stuff. You can see the quotes here. I mean, flat. As someone who is both the biggest Overwatch doomer and shill at the same time, I can pretty confidently say that it's not the case in any way at all. There's definitely lines you don't want to cross, and some people are not socially aware of where those are, though. I don't exactly understand what that means. Can somebody... Maybe my English is not good enough, but I don't understand what he's trying to say here. All in his mind, Frankie P. I'm not sure why he blocked me. Never interacted with the guy. Never really talked to this guy ever in my life. He blocked me, though, sure. But whatever. Sunshine says, my working theory is that Chazm isn't actually mad about this. He's just really getting to him that his Wrecking Ball keeps getting his ass kicked every time he appears in the lore and needs some sort of outlet to vent this frustration. Yeah, I'm not sure what does flats mean here. Blah, 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 engagement bait, warn. It's becoming increasingly obvious to me that you've completely lost the plot. No credits on a payroll, and Dropster is an industry-wide feature, not limited to Overwatch. Everyone criticizes the game in different ways because it's entirely subjective. Derpy says everyone is that, but he's right. A person that is outside of the drops deal, whatever. All of this, you can't even mow Juno to be fat as fuck with her shoes off. Rivals gone clear, okay. Blah, 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 blah. A bunch of people that are responding. Everybody wants to be a part of the conversation. Of course, Questron. Literally, why would someone choose to pivot their life around one singular game? Make it their center of their routine. Sacrifice to plan around active prediction promoting it is their one job for a game they wouldn't like. That just seems so exhausting. That's what we have Marvel Rivals for. Huh? I don't know, man. Yeah, everybody's kind of freaking out and crashing out on Chazm. But like, yeah. You know what? Let's just ask if he's ready to go. Let's just talk to him. Yo, Chazm.
Yo.
Yo, good. Let me set it up for 1 second. I'm not like a professional podcaster. Just do it on, on the fly.
Yeah, neither, man.
Give me a second. What's up, bro?
Chat, can you hear him, chat? What's up, man?
Good. I haven't seen you. I haven't seen you like in a long time.
Before?
What?
Have we spoke before? I feel like we have, but
on Discord, in Discord, never. I mean, we had. I mean, I see that we have our chats at Discord. Right? Go back to 2023. I see.
Yeah. Well, that was before. That was before the fall of Overwatch, bro.
I get it. We'll talk about it. You know, like I saw your tweets, and the reason why I want to have a conversation is because I feel like nobody has these conversations, because I think that. Yep. People don't want to platform you if you have, like, if you criticize the game or anything, it's just goofy things like that. Give me a second.
Yep.
You know, like, as I said, I saw your tweets, and I think that a lot of people hold your belief. And disclaimer,
yeah,
I agree with you on the general premise, let's just put it that way, like what you're saying in general, but I don't agree necessarily with the specifics. Just disclaimer, so like
yeah. I mean, that's fine.
With some specifics, so, but before we kind of talk about this, I want my audience also to get to know you. I'll say that you, in my humble opinion, that you're probably the best like ball player that's ever existed. I've learned a lot from you. You're probably the number one person in terms of like how much videos I've watched of him on YouTube in Overwatch.
Thank you, bro.
And yeah, I mean, you kind of like revolutionize what it's like to be a one trick and stuff. You know, back in the day, you have to flex, you have to plug, and then you show up out of nowhere, hit the rank one leaderboard, pretty hold it consistently, and like inventing a lot of techs that were not really in the game back in the day.
Yeah.
So I'd
Yeah, I
like you.
mean,
Yeah, go ahead.
go ahead, go ahead.
Now, I was
Oh,
just like you to, to
uh,
to take it to like day one. Like, how did you
day
come
one.
to join Overwatch? Yeah, and like what
Yeah.
specifically attracted you about building? Because that's something that I'm curious about as well.
So I mean, I played TF2. I'm not sure if you played TF2.
A little bit.
But yeah, like I was always like a hero shooter player, right?
Hmm.
Overwatch came out, and I kind of played it like I didn't play it loads. I played it casually. I was like top 500 and stuff. But to be honest, I enjoyed the game, but I kind of thought it was like there wasn't as much like tech and stuff as
Hmm.
TF2. TF2 has like so many little mechanics and
Yeah.
things. Um, wait one second. Is my stream down?
Let me
Where's the
check.
DDoS? In the fucking, um,
Well, I think your
wait, my
stream is
stream
down.
is
Yeah.
down. What? Okay, wait. Let me restart. One
Yeah,
sec.
yeah. Restore, restore. Take your time. Do you call the Mossad on him? I have. I have.
Bro, my stream's never done this ever.
Maybe it's the
It's just
collaboration stuff. Let me just try.
yeah.
Let
I think
me.
it's like yeah. I think it might be
So oh yeah, because we are yeah, we are let me just remove that and
yeah.
collaboration. Boom. Okay, let's just do that. Boom.
Yeah, we good. We're back.
I see you're
I
live.
think we're
You're
back.
live. You're live, yes.
Yeah. All right. Nice. All right. So yeah, I mean, I played when it came out. I was like 4.4K just playing like random heroes. I played like Pharah and stuff, but I always thought like Pharah was never as like fun as like Soldier from TF2.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I was kind of playing on and off, and then Ball came out, and I was like, oh my god, this hero. And it basically all just started because I made an account called Ball, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna one trick Ball because it's funny, and everyone hates this hero. Um, so yeah, but the dedication was I was never gonna pick another hero ever. So my account was only Ball. There was not a single other hero for I think like 1,000 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So not even selected for like even like a minute, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Was it like a
and
friend bet
then
or something? Is it or just like you
no,
decided by yourself?
I just went with it, and then I was just like, well, there's too many hours now. I can't swap hero now. So I basically, I put myself in a corner, and then yeah, everyone hated me basically. I mean, I'm not sure if you knew back in the day, but like I was the most hated player ever because I was the only guy playing ball basically in EU.
I vividly
And
remember.
yeah, I actually got crowned the number one most avoided player in Europe. So they used to have like a leaderboard. There used to be a Discord where every single EU player was in called
Mm-hmm.
Overwatch PD.
Yeah.
Um,
I remember that
and they
with
had like
what's his name? GamerDoc. That's the server,
yeah, yeah,
GamerDoc.
yeah, yeah. And they had a leaderboard for like most avoided player, right? And I was like the most avoided player by like 10 billion, right? Everyone hated me,
Mm-hmm.
but I was kind of just like playing a persona, right? Because I just kind of didn't really care. Like I'm just one trick and ball. Like I was not in the community like in any way, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's kind of just how I got some like infamy. And then some people just started watching me, so I was like, you know what, I'll just start streaming. And then I just kind of stuck with the bit for like how many years now? It's been like
Woo.
2018. It's been eight years of Wrecking Ball, bro.
Yeah.
8 years of Wrecking Ball. So yeah, I guess the bit just never ended. It just
Yeah.
kind of kept going.
Well, there, you're kind of like in a sense, for a streamer, for somebody like in the public eye, you're kind of like a mysterious person. Nobody knows much
Yeah,
about you, yeah? It's like a private person,
yeah,
I'd say.
kind of. Yeah, I mean, I don't like sharing like anything online, like at all,
Why is that?
personally. Stranger danger, man. I don't
I
know.
get,
I've just yeah, I've just always been like that. I've never shared like anything, you know.
yeah, that's
Um,
fair. I mean, even like I don't think you have ever shared this, but definitely don't know it because like you showed up out of nowhere. Your nickname used to be Bull, and then he switches to Chasm. But like people
yeah.
were wondering, well, what was before Bull? Your name, I mean, you had must have played before Bull came out.
Well, my name was Chasm, like online, but
Hmm.
before that, I just had like random names in game. It was literally just the most random stuff you've ever seen in your life. Like
Yeah.
I never really was into like the online. I didn't really speak to people online. You know what I mean? I just kind of played with my friends, and then 8 years later, now that's all I do. So I feel like I feel like everyone as a whole has kind of done that. I feel like Discord's done like irreversible damage to the world because yeah, I
It's
feel
true.
like I mean, you can have a friend online, right? Like, would you count someone online as like a friend?
Personally, I don't. I don't. I mean, for me, it's been
And
a
a
little bit
lot,
different. What
yeah,
for me, I'll tell you. Like, I'll tell you. I used to play video games since I was a kid, and I used to like be involved in online communities and like going to LAN parties back in the day. And we're like going back to 2011. My first LAN event was 2012. I remember it. It was in
yeah,
Israel, 2012. I was 13 years old. It
yeah,
was a BYOC back in like now like you have all these nice productions. You have a PC with all the new ports set up, booths, crowds. Back in the day, somebody would just hire a school, buy like 12 tables, and just bring everybody from the online forum, and you guys are gonna play for a prize money of $100 and some fucking sandwich.
yeah, yeah,
And I could barely carry my PC, but I was involved in these communities and like I was competing back in the day, and a lot of the because well you live in the UK, right?
yeah, yeah,
Well, UK is not as big as the US. It's a fairly big country. So like if you live in North England, for example, you're not gonna meet somebody in South England, at least not on a frequent basis, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But in Israel, it's a very, very small country. You can you can drive the entire country back and forth in like 4 hours. So everybody
yeah,
that you meet online, you can just meet them in real life in probably like 15-minute drive.
yeah, yeah.
So most of the friends that I've met through gaming, I just, I don't know if you remember Sean P, for example, the Roadhog player.
Sean P.
Yeah, we used to play a lot. He's a Roadhog player. He was
Right, yeah,
ranked
yeah,
one many times. Basically, he's one of my best friends, and I've met him through Overwatch, right? But me and
yeah,
him lived like 5-minute drive away from each other, right?
yeah, yeah. Right, yeah.
So yeah, uh, so online
But
communities
yeah,
for me
yeah,
are a
it's
little bit
kind of
different. But I don't
yeah,
consider people on Discord that I randomly talk to if I haven't met them to be my friends.
yeah. That's what I mean. I think a lot of people do nowadays, right?
Hmm.
Which, to be honest, I don't think it's like it's not really sad. I mean, it's kind of just like I think since COVID, to be honest, it kind of changed, right?
Hmm.
Where you kind of can be friends with people online now, and like that's it. You're just friends with them online.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, I mean that was kind of me. Like I was never really friends with anyone online before, I started streaming and stuff. I didn't really know anyone, like I didn't really consider it like that. But then, times change, I guess. Now I'm chronically online, so
Right. Yeah, but you haven't like like you stream on and off. I know
yeah,
there's times where you stream a lot, and there are
yeah,
times that you
yeah,
don't stream at all. And I saw you like dabble with Deadlock, and I actually watch your video. I play Deadlock myself a little bit, especially off stream. I very
yeah.
rarely play on stream. So what's like you're a fairly famous streamer. You get views. Now we're not talking like you have 10,000, but you're like within the top 0.1% of
Yeah,
Twitch.
my YouTube's a bit bigger than my like streaming stuff, but yeah.
Stream is also
I
big.
mean, I mean, yeah, I mean, I think people underestimate like if you have 300 viewers on Twitch, you're in the top 0.01%, like
Hmm.
by default. I think
Yeah,
a lot of people underestimate how, to be honest, people underestimate how much these big streams are making, um, and don't realize you could go full time with like 200 viewers. There's a lot of people who do that.
you could. You
Um,
could.
but yeah,
You said underestimate how many of the biggest streamers are making? Underestimate.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
think
agree. I agree.
yeah, people, yeah, these big streamers, I think people don't realize like, and a lot of people think it's like donations, bits, subs. It's not that. It's
Mhm.
just pure ad revenue. Twitch is just like, yeah, most of these big streamers are hard farming so much money. It's
And
insane.
sponsors and sponsors.
But I mean, yeah, I forget about that.
Did
It's
did
insane. And Blizzard, they're also paid by Blizzard. Unfortunately.
we're gonna talk about it in a
Yeah,
second.
yeah, yeah.
So like you started like a series of tweets, which well I showed my chat and my stream like what the tweets were about, kind of reading them back and forth, before like 10 minutes before the call. And it started with how you described that Overwatch like ranks are meaningless. Overwatch champion 1 is the
Yeah.
equivalent 4.3k in Overwatch 1, etc. Can you kind of elaborate on what he meant by that?
Can you give me 1 second?
Of course.
My stream has gone down again. I've never had this happen. This is actually kind of weird. I'm not lagging at all either.
Yeah, and coincidentally, you're with an Israeli Nicole.
Well, I'm also talking shit about Blizzard, so
It's true.
either one, we never know. Let's see. Let me restart the stream. That is so weird though. I've
Yeah.
never had it go down.
Thank you for the subs, guys. Shoes, Hank, and Rich. Thank you.
Okay, it should be back up.
Yep.
Right, if it goes down again, I'll just
No, thank you.
it's fine. I'll just tell him I'll to go over to you. So what it was about? Was it about the talking about the first tweet I made, right?
Yeah,
On,
that rank
how
is meaningless. Yeah.
Yeah. So to be honest, I kind of just made that tweet. I wasn't really thinking. Like basically I've made a promise to myself recently. Like I need to become like an influencer, right?
Uh-huh.
Because I've never been an influencer. So I was like, you know what? I'm kind of just like throwing away, free money here. I should be tweeting. I should be making TikToks.
Uh-huh.
Because right now I've just been, I just do YouTube and Twitch. So I was like, you know what? Let's just do it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think that many people were gonna go crazy and get so mad. Like so many people were mad, and
Woo!
I've had death threats for that tweet. Genuine death threats in my DMs for that tweet.
That's crazy.
I don't know if there's some kind of like botting situation going on, but it was really weird. But yeah, basically the idea was, I just went on my profile, right, and because I've been doing this no shooting thing, or this no shooting thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I just looked at my main profile, right, because I've not even thought about it, and I was like, wait, I'm literally okay. This is why I don't want to play the main account,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm champ 1 on both on 6v6 and 5v5,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like I have not earned it. I've just I'm kind of slightly washed, right? I've barely come back to the game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of rolling around, not thinking about it, and I'm champ 1. Back when I used to play Overwatch 1, there was a different vibe when you were in high elo, when you were pushing for like 4-6, 4-7, 4-5, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was like this feeling where you had to try so hard to like carry your teammates, and every game was so close. And you'd be, bro, you're one game away from your 4.6 game. You're shaking. You're shaking. You're like, oh my God, I'm nervous for this game.
Mm-hmm.
Am I going to do it? And then I don't know when this has happened. I think it's kind of just happened over the course of Overwatch 2 in general, due to the fact I think that they've changed the ranks so many times that it's like, what is Champ 1 anymore? What is it? And I know I said it's like equivalent to 4-3.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's true, because I just feel like it's so hard. For me, it was as easy as getting 4-3. Now maybe I'm biased because Ball's OP. Maybe Ball's just like really strong right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to me, that's how it felt. Getting
Okay.
4-3 in Overwatch 1 probably felt as hard as getting Champ 1 right now. But then Champ used to be good, like how many months ago? I'm not sure because I've not really been following the game. But when Champ came out, I got Champ 4. I felt amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, I got Champ 4. This is on my profile forever. I'm a Champ 4 player. I come back to the game, everyone's Champ 1. And it's like, well, why would they do that? Now my Champ 4 is completely meaningless, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And now I've hit Champ 1. It's like, well, what does Champ 1 even mean? Does anyone care that I'm Champ 1? Like, no one cares that I'm Champ 1, right?
Yeah.
And that's and a lot of this stuff as well. I think people are thinking that I'm complaining about matchmaking, bad teammates, boosted players. I'm not actually complaining about any of this. I actually think the matchmaking is fine. I don't think it's that bad. I think it mainly comes down to the visuals. The visuals of the game, the feeling that rank kind of doesn't mean anything, is what makes good players not play. So then you just go against bad players. To me, it's all about the visuals.
Yeah.
That's what rank's all about. It's all about feeling good about getting a high rank, and I think it's lost that.
Okay.
So yeah.
So I personally, like, when I read it, I'll tell you, I agree with the general premise of what you're saying. I mean, I think what you're trying to say is that rank meant something back in the day because it was like almost like a trophy to display of I am good at the game. Like if you were 4.6 back in the day, you were a good player undoubtedly. They're like, there's no way that you would be a bad player as 4.6 unless you bought the account. But even if you bought the account, everybody would know about it because hitting 4.6 like so difficult to get back in the day.
Yeah.
And it's like almost displaying a trophy. But now you feel like you hit Champ 1, but now you say like you write like, for example, hey, I hit Champ 1. Nobody cares.
No likes, no retweets, no replies. No one cares. It's just like.
And with that, I agree with general premise. With the specific detail about being 4.3, it's a hard disagree because
To be fair, that might be based on 6v6 because I've only been playing 6v6 recently.
yeah,
I think maybe 6v6 that might be true.
yeah, with
5v5,
it
maybe it's
is
a bit harder.
okay. So
Yeah,
6v6, you're right. Like
yeah,
I always like look at it, and again, no hate or anything. I am not. By the way, I I am like one of the biggest advocates back in Overwatch 1. I have a video from that I watched from like 2020, I believe, about the first claim that I made about it. Like I made a video called How to Fix Overwatch. The first claim that I made is the game needs to be 5v5, right? So like I'm the one of the OG
Good. Oh
5v5ers,
god.
okay?
Yeah,
And it's not like I'm against 6v6. I've had
yeah,
different reasonings for 5v5. The main thing was that I was more in the looking at it from the professional eye, and I think that Overwatch is a very difficult game to view and spectate.
yeah, 100%. Yeah,
And back in the day, it's like the Overwatch was originally supposed to be like an esports successor. It was
yeah,
the whole Overwatch League. The underlying premise of Overwatch is that it's going to be a competitive game. Like this is going to be the next esports. You want to be a pro, Overwatch where it's at. And then they had the whole Overwatch League, and after COVID, it pretty much collapsed. After the Overwatch League collapsed, and that's where we started transitioning to Overwatch 2. But that's a different topic that I'd like to kind of talk about. Um, and where I kind of went with this is that, well, yes, you're right that you no longer can display trophy. And you said that you haven't played the Overwatch for just got back recently. And
yeah. It's kind of like on and off. So I've kind of lost track of when Champ came out, when Challenger Score came out. I'm not I don't have a full timeline
yeah,
anymore basically.
yeah. So I don't know if you're aware, but like a few months back, they had like a problem with the system itself, with the rank system. So what I mean by that is that you would basically make a new account and you could literally just place in Champ
Oh yeah.
3.
Yeah, that was yeah. I mean, again, that's another one of them things where it's like, okay, some noob might place champ free. It's like it's whatever, right? But you have to realize getting 4-6 was like you couldn't accidentally hit 4-6. If you hit 4-6, you hit 4-6.
Yeah,
You're that guy.
yeah,
And then now, oh, you can accidentally hit champ free. Okay, but if that one guy hits champ free, now it means now is he gonna play ranked again? Like he's just gonna be forever, never gonna be able to get that again, right?
yeah.
That's one of those things.
But he also mentioned that like hitting back in the day, like 4.6, you were shaking before the game. Maybe perhaps it's because
Yeah.
you used to be more like new, you were hungry, because like one of your first times, or do you think you just maybe got used to it? Maybe you're just kind of numbed to like high
Well, I
rank.
think no, but your first time hitting 4-6, you're like shaking, right? And then you obviously hit it, and then it's a bit easier. But like whenever you're near your peak, you know what I mean? Like I'm not sure what was your peak in Overwatch 1? Was it like
4716.
yeah, yeah? I hit 4-7 as well, and like when you're hitting 4-7, bro, it's like I don't know,
You're the
it's
best.
it's different.
You're the best.
Yeah, it's different. And when you have that number, like that's your number forever, man. I mean, people used to put that number in their name, like their SR peak.
Yeah.
I've seen people who literally change their name to just have that number in their name. People are so proud of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then what am I gonna put chazm champ one? It's like no one cares, right?
It's
No,
true.
no one, literally no one cares.
Yeah. So
Uh,
so so where I agree with you is that, as I said, is that where I agree with you is that in essence, when we kind of like boil this down, is that Overwatch is not as competitive as it used to be. And with that sentiment, I completely agree. And the thing is like, why do you think that's the case?
I actually do think it's competitive. I think it's just as competitive. I just think there's a lot more cope nowadays. I think games as a whole are 10 times more competitive nowadays. Every game, like every game that comes out
Hmm.
has to be competitive. I feel like every multiplayer game it's full of sweats. Everyone's watching 10 guides on how to rank up.
Hmm.
I actually do think it's just as competitive. I think these people who play quick play, um, I think a lot of them are kind of new it's a new generation of gamers who they think they're playing casually, right? But then they're complaining about their tank in quick play, and they're like, "Bro, tank, you need to swap, right? Swap ball."
Hmm.
But they're quick play. Um, I think it is competitive. I just think people there's just way more cope nowadays that people pretend like they don't play competitively. When Overwatch is just a straight up competitive game, you compare it to TF2, right?
Hmm.
TF2 pub games. That's a casual game, COD back in the day.
Yeah.
That was casual. No matchmaking. Like quick play has matchmaking, it's basically just ranked without the symbols.
Hmm.
Um, I just think people are more competitive than ever, but they're more scared. Basically, developers are more scared than ever to make these people lose their ranks, if you know what I mean. Because people care so much now about everything. They don't want to lose the rank. They're so, they have the ranked anxiety. They don't want to queue up. They don't want to lose the rank. So basically, every game has just turned into how can we keep the engagement high? How can we make every loss not feel bad? I feel like that's the goal of every game right now. Make losing not feel bad. Everyone's a winner.
But isn't that like kind of by intention, by design, not competitive, like the way you described it? If you're trying to
I
make,
think, well,
yeah,
I think the people are competitive. I
uh-huh.
think the reason the thing is, you don't, if it's a casual game, you wouldn't care about losing. TF2, if I lose a TF2 public game, right?
Hmm.
Do you even notice? You don't even know it. You don't even think about it if you lost, right? You play COD back in the day. Do you care about if you lost? You just care about your kill streaks, right?
Yeah.
You don't even notice if you've lost your team deathmatch in Modern Warfare 2, right? No one cares. Um, but people do care now. People care about the quick play games. You have Juno players with, who people would consider a casual player, right? With, they have like the mythic, they have all this, right? They have all the titles, but then they're so desperate to win these quick play games. I feel like, I think people are. I think it's actually more sweaty and more competitive than ever. But as a result, um, there's no divide between casual and competitive anymore. Everyone's kind of in the same pool. I think Overwatch is kind of a part of this because it was just designed to be competitive from the start. I feel like you can't play Overwatch non-competitively because I mean you need a good team comp, right? You
Hmm.
need two decent healers. Like you have to work together as a team no matter what. I feel like it's really hard to play this game casually.
Have
But
you
yeah, that's my opinion.
have you watched this? There was this interview with some podcaster with Jeff Kaplan as well. I don't know if you've ever seen that, the clip of that, where I think Kaplan said something along the lines, and it's not a direct quote, but something along the lines of like one of the things that I regret the most, and like the team that I regrets the most with making Overwatch is that we've made it too team oriented and like less
Yeah.
individual based. So, do you feel like actually Overwatch is a team-oriented game, or do you feel like it's way more
Um,
individual people like way more individual people give it credit for?
it's a weird question because okay, inherently ranked is just a solo queue game. I know you've coached a lot of people, so you probably experienced this, right? Where a
Hmm.
lot of people they're in lower ranks and they're blaming their team. They think, oh, they're always looking at the team's heroes. They're looking at the team's whatever, their the way they play.
Yeah.
Realistically, if you're playing a solo queue game, you're playing a single player game, right?
Yes.
Your team doesn't matter long term. You're just playing the game. So it's kind of dangerous to say it's a team game because then a lot of people will think, oh, my team was bad, that's why I lost. When realistically, if you're below champ, if you lose a game, it's your fault, right? You could have won. You could, if you played better, if you were a pro player,
Yeah.
you would have won. So yeah, in that aspect, it's not. But in the actual, if you talk about like pro play and stuff, and it's like, yeah, it's probably I think it's one of the most team based games I think out there in terms of like like coordination with your team.
Hmm.
Um, Teams in pro play can win based on just teamwork, right? It's not just individual plays. But yeah, it's weird. It's kind of hard to tell because like I think it's super team based. But then if you're playing ranked solo queue, then it's the team does not matter at all long term,
But that's
obviously.
what most people play. Like when we talk about the pro scene as a whole, like when we talk
Yeah,
about like professional scene, like what is it? Zero, maybe 1% of like
yeah,
like if
yeah.
including fans and everything. I think it's like not a big market share, the professional
Oh
stuff.
yeah, Overwatch esports is. I mean, it'll never be big. Like you said, it's hard to watch. It's way too hard to watch. I mean, I play this game all day, every day. To be honest, I have no idea what's going on when I'm watching OWCS. It's like impossible to tell what's happening.
Yeah, and they were technically
Um,
playing pro at one point.
yeah, yeah. It's when you're playing, you can understand it. When you're watching, it's. I think they need to do player POVs. I think that's the way they have to do it, which they did at the
Hmm.
start, but then they got rid of it. So I'm not sure why, but yeah.
In my opinion, like a big reason as to why it's not spectatable, not necessarily just because you can't understand what's going on, is because you can't like the average person cannot see the individual impact. Like if you
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
if you look, even if we go back like Team Fortress, right? If you look at Team
Yeah,
Fortress, you pick sniper or you like play scout, right? The scout can go like just go out there, boom, 6K. And you can see like the shotgun hitting, like everybody can understand you shooting with the shotgun scout, killing 6 enemies, or like you going
Yeah.
with Uber Demo Man and just like annihilating the entire team, right? But Overwatch, with Overwatch specifically, it's very difficult to tell exactly what the play was good. Like you, Chaz, I'm a very good player. I can notice something like somebody making a play. It's like, oh, that was so good, that was so smart.
Yeah.
And somebody in gold be like, well, what are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
You
Yeah,
know?
that's 100% true. There's a lot of the best plays is literally just like minute details. It's not like pop off moments.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, that's why I say that I think the POVs would be great if you're an Anna main,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you're watching, I don't know, like Shu play Anna. It's
Yeah.
like imagine you could just watch his POV. I feel like that would be the thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of spectating what's going on, yeah, it's impossible. It's physically impossible. I don't think they can ever. I think the spectators have been kind of. Is it? I don't know if it's mean to me for me to say this, but I feel like spectators for Overwatch are kind of bad. But maybe it's because maybe it's just so hard that you can't do it well. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I'll
also
cut
like
some so grace. I think it's very hard to spectate. Like I'll just cut them
yeah,
some grace.
it is, yeah.
But you know, like, so why do you think that a game that used to be much more competitive, at least from your point of view? So you said that like it's Blizzard who kind of shifted it, like they're more scared to make it more competitive. They want to appeal to like
Yeah.
the mass audience. Like, why do you think that's the case?
Um, I just think it's a whole new generation of players. I think honestly, a lot of it always comes back to COVID. I think
Hmm.
we got this whole new generation of players, and I'm not. The thing is, I'm not saying I want the game to be made for only me, competitive top players, and then fuck the lower rank players.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the time these lower elo players, not even it's not even just low elo players. It's just people in general. It's bad to say, but they don't really know what's good for them, and I feel like they won't play this game long term. Like you think about all the Overwatch players when the game came out, how
Hmm.
many people are playing long term? There's so many long term players. Um,
At the beginning, you say.
yeah, yeah. There's like when you make a game that's like punishing and stuff like that, you retain like a long term player base who cares about the game.
Hmm.
Whereas making it easier, it's like okay, you might retain a few more players. Maybe they'll play one more game that night. But long term, will they feel a long term gratification from ranking up or improving at the game? When you don't actually feel that like long-term gratification, I just think that the player base is going to fall off. But I mean, maybe it won't. Maybe Overwatch will transition to like a whole new genre of player. But it's just not for me. That's
Yeah.
all. It's not for me.
I get what you're saying, but like what I'm struggling like, because there's a disconnect that you're saying. So you say players are now more competitive, but on the other hand,
Yeah,
the games are trying to cater to like trying to make the game less competitive by design, and that's like where I don't understand disconnect.
yeah. So they're more competitive, but they cope more. That's kind of what I'm getting at. As in, I actually think games are they're way too competitive nowadays. There's barely any casual games. But they're so competitive that when people lose, they rage. Like, they rage quit, right? They leave the game. If you're playing casually and you lost the game, you wouldn't really care, right? You just get off. If I mean, you wouldn't even get off. You just continue queuing. But I think when people get so emotional about a
Mhm.
game, so many people are so emotionally invested in games nowadays. Games have just become like it's like people's lives. A lot of people's lives is just this game.
Yeah.
Um, and they're so scared for people to just feel bad for 1 second. Maybe their rank went down. It's the same in Rivals how they have these things. I'm not sure. Do we have it in Overwatch right now? It's like that demotion thing where you get demoted, but you don't actually like fall down. It gives you like a grace period. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Like the
I
motion
think that's in Overwatch,
protection.
right? Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Demotion protection.
Yeah.
And I think that exact thing is like a lot of the problem with the game. It's trying to make people not feel bad for losing because people so desperately don't want to lose nowadays. They don't want to be the loser. They don't want to lose to a better player than them.
Yeah, but that's contradictory. It's like because it seems like it's contradictory a bit because
Well,
that's
I
not the
think
competitive player by definition, you know?
I think it is, but I just think these people, um, but if they weren't competitive, they wouldn't care. They wouldn't need to do these things. Do you know what I mean?
Have you ever rage quit, Chasm?
Uh, an Overwatch game? Let me think.
I mean, the fact that you have to think
No,
probably
there were,
happened a few times, like a couple.
Yeah, it's probably happened a few times.
And how many games do you think you've played?
Uh, 10 trillion games.
Yeah, but so from like a scale of 1 to 10, how competitive do you think you are?
Um, I would say I don't think I'm very competitive. I think I'm definitely lower down. I'm probably like 5. I think a lot of people think I want the game to be ultra. They think I'm one of these like purists who wants the game to be ultra competitive. I actually don't. I actually like the game
Ch
being more casual. I like goofy stuff. I like
Chazm,
goofy heroes.
do you really think that you're like a 5 on the competitive or like average? Do you really think
No, I
that?
do. I do. I would have never played pro if I. The only reason I was playing pro is just because my friends were playing, and like, I mean, if I cared about competitive, right, I'd be flexing. I'd be
No,
playing the better hero.
but
Like,
don't you think that you got that far ahead? Like you have to understand your rank, what you got to be as a player is no
mm,
joke. It's like it's I know that it's like okay, since 2020, it's like oh, a lot of people hit high ranks, so especially like in Overwatch with like all the champion ones, all that stuff. Like you have to understand to get to that level, you cannot be a casual player. Like it's just virtually impossible for you to be 4.7, as you said, one tricking ball. But with being
y-
casual, it's impossible. It's a
I
mental
just
game. Like it's just a different mental like it's a mental
well,
attitude that you have.
I think I'm now okay. I probably was more competitive back then, but I'd say now I'm less competitive. But maybe I think that's just because of the rank system. Maybe if it was like SR still, I actually would care as much as I did back then. Um, but yeah, nowadays I don't feel like I'm competitive at all. I just when I win or lose, I don't really feel much. I'm
Oh,
not sure about you, but like,
sure.
do you feel like if you beat someone, do you feel like really good in Overwatch 2?
Nowadays I don't, but I think it doesn't have specifically to do with Overwatch 2 per se. I think it's more
Yeah,
so
maybe.
that I've been playing video games for long, and
Yeah,
I used to have like pro aspirations and stuff, but I kind of like I've came to realize that in this point in time, because I'm 29, I don't know how old you are, even Chasm, I have no
yeah.
idea.
I'm 25.
Okay, so I'm 29. I've been playing semi-professionally to professionally since about 2012. I say semi-professionally humbly because the prize money back then was maybe $20.
Yeah,
And I think I've been doing it for such a long time, and I just don't care about being the best anymore.
yeah,
I do care about retaining like a very high level. And correct me if I'm wrong because I feel the same way. Like if you take a break, you come back after like a couple months and you play like shit, you get already upset yourself for playing like shit.
yeah,
I
yeah,
do. So you say yeah, but you do understand that most people who play any type of game or do any type of quote unquote competitive activity, they don't feel like shit when they like come back to something. They kind of
Do you,
accept it as a fact, or they cope. Or they say something.
yeah.
Ah.
I think I think it's cope. I actually do think these people are competitive. I really do.
Sure,
Like
but the fact that you get upset is already means that you're a competitive person. You can't say that you're
yeah. No,
five on the
I'm not
on the
saying
scale. You know.
I'm not saying I'm not competitive at all. I'm just saying I think especially now, like even back then, I wasn't ultra competitive. I never wanted to go pro or anything, right?
Why not?
I
Why not?
I just enjoy ranked, man.
Okay.
I like playing ranked. I like making clips. That's what I enjoy doing, you know.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I think that just nowadays, obviously it's a bit of both, right? It's a bit of okay, I was competitive. Tried so hard for so long, right? Then obviously nowadays, you kind of get over it a little bit. But do you think anyone in rank? Okay, how many more people are toxic nowadays compared to how many were back in the day in like high elo? I don't see anyone flaming people anymore. I don't see. Back
True.
in the day, it was like they'd put like hits on people, man. Like you'd be in these discords, some guy would be
It's
typing 10
true.
paragraphs about the Lucio one trick he's just had in his game and how he wants to, do bad things to him and all this. And I think that's a sign that people want to win. They want to win so bad. And nowadays, I'd never see anyone complain in a rank. The pros aren't flaming people. Like Violet was telling people to kill themselves back in Overwatch 1. I don't think he's doing that in Overwatch 2 because we're so I don't know disconnected from the game now.
But
You know,
do you think it's like the game changing? Or do you think like it's the culture as a whole changing? I mean, let's not kid
I
ourselves.
think
You
it's the
know,
game. I think it's the game.
I think that in today's society, like if you were to like tell somebody to kill yourself, you'll have a whole group of people like, oh my god, you can't be saying these stuff, like basically
But they
tone
did back
policing
then.
it,
But they did back then,
but
and they still did it.
way less,
Yeah, maybe less, maybe
like
less.
way like a lot less. Chasm. I
But
think
is there any new players like all these players that are playing now? There should be a new generation of like sweats, right? Who care about ranked. If we're all just disillusioned and we've played too much, right? It's like where's the new generation of like sweaty players? Every OWCS pro I see, every high rank player is just like an Overwatch 1 player, right? I don't really see any sort of new people coming up, you know?
there definitely are, but I think that the reason why there's not a lot of people that are sweaty anymore is because back at like think back. I mean, I'm assuming you've played for at least let's say 2015, 2016, right? Let's just say
Yeah.
2016 for example in video games, DF2. I think like back in the day, what options did you really have? I mean, you either when you play video games, you either look up to the pros or you look up like phase Call of Duty trick shots. So, like you said, you'd like
Yeah.
to make clips, and back in the day, it's like the two viable options. You either make clips, and everybody
Yeah.
like, whoa, who's that guy with the cool clips, or you just made it as a pro. But I think that now gaming as a whole has taken a turn where, well, being a pro is no longer the most luxurious option. Like, let's be real. Chasm, out of your YouTube videos and
Yeah.
Twitch streams, you probably make more than any pro gamer that this game has to
Yeah,
offer.
well, I think Overwatch League might have genuinely, in terms of esports, I think it might have had like one of the biggest dents on esports. I mean, esports is just dead. I mean, it was very much like a bubble.
Hmm.
Um, all of those Overwatch League pros were on absolute minimum they could give them.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of them had to pay for their own housing, right? They're
So
living in
it's like
like
50,
LA.
50K, 50K. That was like the bare
Well,
minimum back then.
it was actually less because there was like a loophole where they didn't have to pay them in like the off season. So it was like 50K
Oh,
minimum for the year, but then they could end the contract before it ended. So it was like 37K a year, and then you had to pay for everything yourself and like live in LA and all this.
hmm.
Um, so yeah, I mean they were barely getting by, right?
Yeah,
And then obviously we have like Saudi nowadays, which why everyone's going to Saudi is just because that's where the money is. But
yeah,
realistically, in terms of like homegrown actual money,
yeah.
there's like no money in esports. I mean, CS is like the most healthy esport, and that's about it. And it's kind of propped up on gambling and stuff as well.
Sure.
So
Fair enough, but
yeah,
let's talk about CS because I came from CS and I'm
yeah,
very
yeah,
well aware of the whole scene. Some of the people that I used to play with now on the biggest stage and the biggest stage. So like, why do you say CS is a healthy esports? And
yeah,
first of all, the first question I'd like to ask, what is that? And then I'd like to follow up with why do you think it's a healthy esports? And what do you think is the difference between Counter-Strike and any other esports in terms of like, let's just say the people who play it? What do you think?
yeah. So I think CS is healthy because I think it's probably the number one like grassroots homegrown esport. So a lot of other esports are kind of just propped up by either the people who make the game or like whatever money comes out of thin air, just hope investors, right, hoping that it's going to do well. Like even League of Legends, right, they have like LCS, I think, right,
Hmm.
which is propped up by Riot. And Riot one day, they're obviously investing money into this and losing a lot, but they know it'll promote the game.
Yeah.
With CS, it's fully homegrown. Valve doesn't care. Valve is just like all the money made in CS is, it's not just from investors hoping that it's going to do well in the future.
Hmm.
Um, and honestly, it's kind of what's going on with OWCS right now. Is kind of like early CS days to a certain degree, where it's growing naturally. It's not all this forced, like Americanized. Like Overwatch League was so, it was so Americanized. It was so made to be just made for investors, right? For
Yeah.
boomers to think this is the next big thing, right? And
Hmm.
just steal a load of money.
Hmm.
Whereas current OWCS, it has a lot of personality. You have rivalries, and that's why I think CS is a healthy esport because, um, other than I know they are relying on a lot of like skin stuff in terms of like with that much money, they're relying on skins, gambling, stuff like that. Um,
Okay.
But I just think, I mean, personally, I watch CS esports, right? I watch
Hmm.
it all the time. I haven't played CS since I don't know, like 2014, right? Like
Yeah.
I played it back in like 2014. I was like global when I was like 12 or some shit. I was probably like a little squeaker on the mic. Um, and bro, I mean, back in the day, it was like you'd see a guy do a good play, you'd buy his sticker, you'd put it on his gun.
Mm-hmm.
that's like a healthy way for the game to make money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, like you'd buy the new case that comes out or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have something like Overwatch League where they have the skins in game, kind of, and I'm pretty sure they didn't even make that much money from them. And then they lost they had literally no sponsors by the end of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they had the organic audience for Overwatch League was so small, the actual audience. And I genuinely think the organic audience for OWCS right now is probably bigger than the actual audience for Overwatch League. Overwatch League was just a ton of hype, right?
Yeah.
All those people watching season 1 and 2 probably not watching anymore, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas these OWCS players, OWCS viewers right now, I think they're going to be watching for, 10 years. These people are going to be watching forever because they want to follow the stories. Um, it's also to do with the game, how old the game is. Because think about early Overwatch League, right?
Yeah.
By season 3, was anyone from season 1? Like how many people were from season 1 were still in the league?
I think close to zero actually.
Yeah, do you reckon? It probably is something like that.
Yeah,
There's
close to
probably like
zero.
one or two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's like people in esports, they need to realize this. No one's going to care about a team. No one supports orgs. It's very rare if someone supports your organization. That's like insane, right?
You're talking
Mm.
Overwatch though.
I'm talking about CS as well. I think people support the players. Let's say the whole team moved to a new organization. If you're a fan of that team, would you support this whole random new group of players, or would you follow the team you liked?
Yeah,
To
but
then
but but the thing is, the players go with a team hand in hand. Like, let's be real in Overwatch. How many players have stayed in the same team for like longer than a year? In Counter-Strike, you have
uh,
players that have been a part of the same team for 3, 4, 5 years. You
yeah,
know?
yeah, that's what I mean. I'm saying to get an organic org, you need to keep the same players for like years and years and years.
Yeah.
And then you might get a few fans. Whereas with Overwatch League, every season you got like a whole new set of players, right?
Yeah.
And it's also just completely just like all over the place. Like, why did they name it after cities? It's just dumb. I mean, okay,
They
you
try
have
to
like the
replicate
London,
the NBA.
yeah, but it's like you have the London Spitfire, right?
Hmm.
And it's a full team of Koreans, right? And I don't think they can even speak English. So it's
It's
like,
true.
why? Do you know what I mean? Like, why are they the London Spitfire? It's kind of like, you know what I mean? It's such a dumb. It was obviously a whole Americanized, forced thing just to try rinse a load of money, and I mean, it worked. They made a load of money, um, and then
Yeah.
obviously Bobby Kotick got kicked out, and yeah, everyone lost basically.
Yes. So the second question I'd like to ask you is, do you think perhaps that the reason why CS is a healthy esports and everything you mentioned that is so good about CS and can be improved upon with Overwatch or lacks in Overwatch, do you think there's a certain type of audience or like the people who play the game that are slightly different between Overwatch and Counter-Strike?
Um,
Or do you think it's the same people?
it's see, it's a weird one. I think people. I actually don't think a lot of CS's audience is competitive. I think a lot of people who play and face it at the high levels, there's a lot of aspiring pro players. But at least for me personally, like how many people just play CS with their mates in like a stack,
A
right?
lot, a lot.
I think loads of people play that game like casually. Like I think it might be the same as Overwatch. It's just kind of like the I don't know if it would have been ever possible to replicate in Overwatch.
Well,
I think maybe if it was grassroots from the start, it maybe could have had the same sort of vibe.
I'm gonna say approximate numbers because I don't want to say like like
Mm.
I don't have like the exact number top of my head. But last time I checked, like about 1 million people are playing Counter Strike. Like
Yeah,
every month. And then when we talk about like major numbers and people who watch the majors, sometimes it actually gets to close to 1 million, right? Like in terms of
yeah,
like a
yeah. I mean,
major
that's
tournament.
that's insane.
So
Yeah,
so so if a lot of players are casual, yet they're interested in the competitive scene of that, like the pro play of Counter Strike is like the pinnacle of competitive gaming, right? I think we
hmm
can agree on that. So
yeah,
what? So even though they're casual players, you say they're still
yeah,
involved with a professional to an extent, and so.
yeah. I think I think there's a gap there that Overwatch kind of never bridged like fully.
Mhm.
Because okay, if you see the crowd at a CS event, do you think those people are like aspiring pros? Like you see the crowd, everyone's just drunk, everyone's having a good time.
Yeah.
I don't feel like those people are like competitive players. I think a lot of them people are playing super casually,
I
just queuing up the
agree.
game.
I agree. So like
Yeah.
that's where I asked you. So what do you think is the difference between the people who
Um,
play Counter-Strike and the people who play Overwatch? Because I'll be honest, like from my
mhm.
point of view, I don't think it's like at all the same people. I think it's like completely different people. Like
Yeah.
Counter-Strike, for example, yes, it is popular in North America, but it's like super also like dominant in Europe as well. It's less dominant in Asian countries. I mean, only recently
Yeah.
Asian countries started kind of getting big somewhat in Counter-Strike. Same thing with Deadlock. I mean, Deadlock, who it's like
Yeah.
NAEU, and you don't like the
Well,
Koreans.
Deadlock
Don't,
like 90% Russians at this point, bro.
the same with
Like when
Counter
you,
Strike or Dota, any Valve games like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
So like,
Uh,
don't you think there's like, like basically what I'm saying is that target audience for Overwatch and Counter Strike are completely different people.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's yeah, no, it's 100. Especially now. I think maybe Overwatch before Overwatch 2 was there's maybe a bit more crossover because I mean I played CS. I think a lot of people probably did, because that was just the game to play. I think before Overwatch, CS was probably the I mean that was like CS or TF2 were just the two online games before it, right?
Hmm.
Um, but now it's just yeah, I think a lot of people playing Overwatch 2. This might even be their first game. I genuinely believe like so many people are so new in Overwatch 2 nowadays.
Yeah.
And they've got this whole new audience. Um, but like I say, it sounds weird that I'm saying they're not casuals because they kind of are. I'm saying oh it's their first game and all this, right?
Hmm.
But I think the atmosphere, the vibe for the game nowadays. I mean, they're flaming people in quick play, right? They're like, oh, why aren't we winning this quick play game? Um,
Yeah.
Back in the day, you're playing CS with your mates. You're just joking around. You're laughing. You're just trolling your mate the whole time, right?
Hmm.
No one really cares. No one's actually trying at all. Whereas Overwatch, I just think there's definitely a thing nowadays where they're looking up a guide. Arc Raiders. I'm not sure if you played that game, but everyone's sweating it. I mean, they obviously have matchmaking as well in quick play.
Hmm.
If it wasn't competitive, I think they would have no matchmaking. You'd queue up to a random server, right, on the server browser,
Yeah.
like you did back in the day. But nowadays, I mean, the quick play matchmaking is just no different than the ranked matchmaking, right?
Okay.
It's just a ranked match without the icons.
Okay.
But yeah,
So then you kind of like, I want to shift to another topic where you said that competitive online gaming needs its Elden Ring moment, the game that made every game
yeah,
studio realize they could actually make a punishing game that it just isn't feel good, slop, and succeed. So basically, in short, correct me if I'm wrong, what you're saying is that, well, most games are now turning into from this hyper competitive games, they are now make like the studio themselves, not even the audience, are trying to make it more casual, more less competitive, less rewarding for competitive players. So, I mean, I kind of asked you this before, but
yeah.
why do you think that's the case?
Well, I just think it's this emotional attachment to winning, right? People when they lose, a lot of people are competitive, right? The people who make it to the top, when
Hmm.
they get mad, when they get angry, what do? They just keep queuing. You queue till 4 a.m., right? Until your eyes are burning. You're losing every game. You just keep queuing, right? But then there's this whole sort of semi-casual audience where they kind of are competitive, but they say they're casual. Who, when they lose, they just feel so bad. It feels awful to lose, right?
Yeah,
And they just can't handle it, and they need so many ways to sort of lower this feeling of feeling bad. Like I think Overwatch 2 throughout its history has been basically one continuous boost upwards. So
yeah, but I don't think it's exclusive to now. I think that always people were competitive, and I think that always people were upset with losing. I don't think it's like a new thing per se.
but I think Overwatch 1 had a lot more like casual players and like quick play. I think there was a way bigger audience of people who were like TF2 players,
Hmm.
right? TF2 players do not care if they lose. If you play TF2 pubs, it's like half the players are trying, half the players are like throwing,
Hmm.
everyone's dancing around, everyone's just kind of having fun doing their own thing. And I feel like Overwatch kind of was that. Like I used to play with my friends and we used to mess around we'd even mess around in ranked. And nowadays it's just like it's so you get banned for throwing, you get banned for anything nowadays. Um, but yeah, it's hard to describe. I do think it's more competitive, but I think the reason they're making it more casual is because competitive players don't like losing. Half of them,
Well,
the non-high rank players.
yeah, I mean, I agree with you on that, but I don't think it's like exclusive to now. I'm saying it's like every competitive person hates losing. That's like what kind of makes them competitive. You hated losing so bad that you actually said, "Ah, shit, I need to hit like 4.6." You know, I'm so mad at losing that I want to lose again. I want to keep winning, and then eventually
Yeah,
go to 4.6
yeah.
and 4.7. But like, okay, so let me kind of ask you. So like, let's say that you are the Overwatch development team.
hmm
What would you do? Day one, you sit in office, you're in charge. What do you, Chasm, do to fix the game?
Um, well, I don't, a lot of people think I think the game is completely terrible and fallen off completely. I think it's fine, right? I think the game is pretty decent right now. It's better than it's been in a long time. Um, what would I do? Okay. It, if we're going off my personal bias, right? Like, okay, we could talk about, oh, let's make as much money as possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if it's my opinion and I want the game to be fun, I'd remove perks. I think perks are just dumb. I would if you like a perk so much, add it to the base kit of the hero. Like I think maybe Doomfist block, right?
Mm-hmm.
That major perk, I think it's really cool. Maybe add like a nerfed version of like the perks
Mm-hmm.
as just the base kit. You know,
Yeah.
you could just do things. You don't have to slowly change the number for the next 10 years. You could just do things like that, right?
Yeah.
Um, next up, I would remove the map votes. I don't like map votes.
Okay.
I think you just end up playing the same maps all day, every day when you with the map votes.
Okay.
And I like the variety personally. Even if it's a bad map, if it's that bad of a map, it just shouldn't be in the game in the first place, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like more variety. Next up, I would take away hero bans. I think hero bans are dumb.
Okay.
Um, hero bans is basically just you're a one trick, you ban your counter, right? It was there to maybe, I don't know, stop one tricks, but it doesn't really make sense because you can't see the enemy, so you don't know what their one tricks are. Um, so it ends up just one tricks ban the counter. So like, let's say you're a Roadhog OTP,
Mm-hmm.
you just ban Ana every game.
Okay.
So what do you do against that? There's no other anti in the game. You're screwed, right? It's either that or it's sniping, or it's just you just get the guy's enemy stream up and you look who they're playing, and then you just ban the heroes, right?
Okay.
I'm trying to. I don't. What way could you use bans that's a good way in non-pro play? I think the only way is you could ban a broken hero. If a hero is broken and it's annoying, you can ban it. Other than that, I just think bans is just it's just cope. I don't think it needs to be in the game
But
personally.
but don't you think that hero, like you said, that if a hero is broken, it will get
Hmm.
banned a lot. But don't you think that's like kind of also the purpose of why Blizzard made that in the first place, so they could get
Yeah,
direct
no,
feedback as to what is problematic
yeah,
heroes?
I agree. That's probably the only thing that it's actually useful for.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, that's just Blizzard being bad, right? Like, but I agree. I mean, it is good. That's the only time I think it's useful is when a hero is broken.
Okay, so when you say that Blizzard's being bad, do you mean that they just don't recognize what is a broken hero?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you just played the game for 5 minutes, you could probably know what to like. You know, if you played the game for 5 minutes, you could probably tell, okay, Kiri's broken, right? Maybe you should nerf her after 4 years. But
It's interesting that you say that because like, but don't
yeah,
you think that you can recognize these things in 5 minutes because you're really good at the game?
um, I
Let me
think
actually put it, but let me just kind of phrase this a little bit
well,
differently so you can understand my question a little bit better. Do you think that ball is OP because you're a really good ball player? Or and do you think that a lot of people in, let's say, if they picked up gold, like pick up ball in gold, do you think it would seem OP or look OP on when they play it?
yeah, I think it would. Yeah, I mean, I think Bull's just really OP right now.
Okay.
Um,
But do you think Kiriko is OP, for example, in gold?
well, okay, this is the thing. But to me, balance is like, well, let's go on that part for now. Personally, I don't know if this is a hot take. I don't think balance has any effect on ranks below the highest rank.
Mm-hmm.
You see a lot of lower rank players talk about balance, but to me personally, I think they're just kind of repeating what they hear from high rank streamers.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
I don't think balance has any effect at all on lower ranks. And I also kind of think it doesn't have that much effect on high rank either. It doesn't have that much of an effect. I think a lot of balancing it's not about getting every hero perfectly balanced, trying to get this perfect balance in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's fun either. I think a hero being broken is kind of fun for a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I personally preferred the errors of Overwatch 1. I know maybe we're in the TikTok generation nowadays.
Yeah.
But I liked it when a meta was meta for 6 months, right? You perfect the meta, you learn how to play it exactly, you know what to expect going into a game, and everyone kind of learns the patch, right? And I think it gets super high skill. Nowadays, it's kind of like, well, we got a new patch every like 2 weeks. There's no secure meta. You don't ever perfect a certain play style or a certain meta of heroes. I think like goats is fine, double shield's fine, as long as it doesn't last. As long as they lasted in Overwatch 1. That's the problem, I think.
But you look at it from your lens as a higher ranked players. Like you say, the
Yeah,
meta. Do you think meta is a relevant term? So you said balance is not relevant. Anything below,
yeah,
high
yeah.
elo. Do you think meta is relevant to anything below high elo?
I think, and no, I don't think anything matters. Personally, I don't think anything matters in high-low. Maybe I'm wrong because I don't really play it that much. But well, when I do play it, I'm obviously smurfing, so it's kind of hard to tell. But I just don't think balance has any effect on lower ranks. I mean, what everyone's gonna in bronze is gonna play Torb and Moira forever. They're always gonna be broken in bronze because people can't aim, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It I don't. I think. I personally think it has like no effect. There's no. And the thing is though, that's why you should balance around the high ranks, because a lot of what people think about the game, a lot of the thinking is based on high rank streamers, right? Because every streamer's high rank nowadays.
Mhm.
They're just gonna listen to what the streamers say, and if the streamers say, "Oh, this is broken," they just kind of repeat that. Like, is Kiri broken in low rank? I mean, the thing is, with someone like Kiri, a lot of these heroes, it's kind of weird
Mhm.
because do you think Kiri's broken in like high elo?
Um, the
It, it,
short answer is kind of yes, yes, yeah,
but
I
but
think
do
so.
you know what I mean when I say it's like, okay, is she OP? Well, she's been played in the meta for 4 years. Everyone plays her every map, but then it's like, well, she doesn't. I don't think she's like that insanely strong. If you play her, you're not going to carry the whole game. So I just think there's this like breed of Overwatch 2 hero that's like,
When she
it's like
came
it's
out,
hard
you
to
could.
nerf it.
When she
Yeah,
came out,
yeah,
you could.
yeah, for sure.
S-
But after all these nerfs, but now she's still meta. It's kind of like Lucio. I think Lucio's kind of always had the same problem, um, where could you make Lucio like not meta or not strong? It's like, well, speed boost is just always good. Cleanse is always good. It's so hard with these heroes to like quote unquote balance them.
Yeah, but
Um,
before we continue this path, I want to circle back to something you said. I want to kind of give you a pushback here on something.
yeah.
So you said that and correct me if I'm quoting this wrong, is that you would like for metas to be slightly stale so people can get it. Just basically what you're saying, that you don't want
Mhm.
the game to change too much. Like think of chess. Chess
Yeah.
chess is a bit like Counter-Strike, League of Legends. They don't change much, and they have like this loop that people are trying to
Mhm.
optimize, and they're used to. But
Yeah.
didn't we have this exactly the same situation Overwatch 1 where, Dive was meta for a little bit too long and then Goat was meta for a little bit too long, but and then you have Double Shield for a little bit too long. When I say too long, we're talking like I think Goats lasted for at least 2 years. And I think
Yeah. Yeah.
for the first 2 or 3 years in the game we had Dive, and then after Goats we had Double Shield going on for about 2 years. So we've
Mhm.
had that. And
Well,
and
I think it's good. I think the length that it went on. I think 6 months, maybe even 3 months. If we could have 3 months of a solid meta, I think personally, I think I'm not sure about you, but did you enjoy mastering a certain meta? Do you know what I mean?
I think that I have my biased view because because I want to be a pro player and I was a competitive player. For me, like what was for me just was winning. I didn't care what I had to play.
Mhm.
Yes, of course I had characters that I enjoyed playing more than others, but it's not like if somebody like I like Ana and Zenyatta, right? And if somebody
Yeah.
told me, dude, you have to play more, it's not like I would cry about it.
Well,
So
I'm not talking about the hero necessarily you're playing. I'm just talking about like you playing against like I'm just gonna play ball no matter what, right? Like I don't care.
mhm.
But I enjoy playing against a more. I enjoyed double shield because I knew what to expect, and I think over time everyone sort of perfected double shield, and there was some slight tweaks in the meta, but it was nothing massive. And then everyone kind of like slowly perfected it, and it was kind of fun. But then obviously it just dragged too long, right? Because they just didn't end up nerfing half of these heroes. But I do think if there was a more slightly stale meta and then they did massive changes, I would prefer no patches for quite a while, and then one big patch where they actually nerf things. They don't just do. I think they're so scared to nerf these heroes and things. I would like if maybe Kiri was meta for the first 6 months of the game being out, right?
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden she's completely nerfed, and there's another hero that's meta for the next 6 months.
But
Personally,
when you
I
say
prefer
meta,
that.
what do you mean? When you say meta, like I just need.
Yeah,
So I'm like a goal. Like I just started playing Overwatch 2 months ago. I'm a plat
yeah.
player. Just hit my plat. You Chasm, you're an amazing player. When you say meta, what the hell do you mean? Like to me,
Y-
Timmy.
I mean, to be honest, yeah, nothing really. I
That's
don't think there is. Yeah, everything I'm saying here is very much like a privileged high rank player take, because I mean, no one was playing goats in fucking plat, right? No one. People were maybe playing double shield in lower ranks, but yeah, at the end of the day, the meta does not really matter that much. So yeah, for most of the player base, what we're talking about doesn't matter. But I really think it's important that the highest rank is like really looked after, because that's where you want to be. If you're plat, you want to be champ, right?
hmm
That's why you're playing ranked.
Yeah.
And if champ, when you get to champ, it's really unbalanced and no one enjoys it. It's like, well, why would I keep playing in plat, trying to rank up, if the high rank is just super unbalanced and stuff? You know, you're meant to get to the high rank, so the games feel better. People want to play with the good players. They're like, oh, it's a really competitive, fun game. If it sucks in the high rank, then why would you even want to rank up in the first place? Do you know what I mean?
Well, because it's just way worse in the lower rank, you know? It's always
Yeah,
like the grass is green on the other side, you know? Like it's like with every rank. They say if I only was one rank above, my games would be better, and you
yeah,
just come to realize that it's not the case at all. And the reality is like
yeah,
it's not an Overwatch exclusive thing. It's like with everything thing. You always think that
yeah.
once you jump the one step ahead, things are gonna change and be better, but in reality, they might have changed externally, but really nothing changed much. I think it's not even an Overwatch or a competitive thing. It's like universal thing at all. I hear this all the time with money. Like if I could just make $1,000 more a month, my life would be changed. And then they make that and realize the life haven't changed at all. You
But
know?
they need that carrot on the stick, Like if the pro players are telling them, if the high rank players are playing streaming and they're like, oh, this game's terrible, I hate this game, I hate this meta, then they might stop chasing that carrot on the stick. You need that carrot on the stick so
I agree.
they keep playing.
It's true.
Um,
It's true.
yeah.
But the thing is like you said at the beginning of the whole like the thinking thing when I asked you, Chasm, how would you, like you are the director of Overwatch now, how would you change it?
Mhm.
And then you said something along the lines of, well, if I wanted for it to be pure fun. Is that what he said? Something like if I wanted to be fun.
Y- Yeah, so there's two. Like, you could obviously optimize for money, or you could optimize for fun. I think we got Deadlock,
hmm
right? And then we have Overwatch. I think those are two perfect examples where Deadlock, they've not even attempted to monetize it yet. They don't even think about it. The devs are just like, all right, let's make a fun game, and then fun game, I guess, will just equal money. Like, we'll just worry about that later. It's whatever. Now Deadlock, we'll see, because Deadlock could flop, right? Because Deadlock is it's doing pretty well right now, right? But
hmm
it's not fully out. I think that'll be a really interesting sort of case study, because I definitely think Deadlock is one of them old school games.
hmm
Um, the way they're just gonna make a good game, and whatever happens, we'll make money because people will play it, right?
But how do they make
And
money? Because it's free, right? So how do they make money?
well, they'll add skins and stuff, right?
You're right, yeah.
But they're not. I mean, the game's been out for 2 years. The servers have been up for 2 years, right? They've not added a single cosmetic to the game. They've not even. There's nothing in the files. There's no leaks that they're adding anything soon.
Because
All they're thinking
it's
about
still
is,
enclosed alpha, that's why.
that is true. That is true. But when it comes out, is it going to be 10 battle passes, 10 million bundles, skin bundles? It's like,
Maybe?
have they been? Well, it might be, but have they been thinking about that from the start? Right now, are they even thinking about that? I don't think they are.
So
They're just purely making a game.
so like the answer is I don't know, but I do know that something like Dota and Counter-Strike has changed
Yeah.
throughout the years to make more money. With every update they have
Well,
made, is made more money. Like so I agree with you that the general premise is to make a good game, and
mhm.
because the good game is like it's the foundation of making money long term.
Yeah.
Like
Well, how did Overwatch become so big? It's because the people who made Overwatch, they just wanted to make a good game. I'm pretty sure. I mean, the monetization in Overwatch 1 was terrible, right? It was just buy the game and then pay for loot boxes, but then no one bought loot boxes because they're just basically free.
Yeah,
Um,
but it's like you have to remember something that's generally like Valve, Steam. It's like such an outlier because they have
mhm.
made
They
very
have unlimited money.
yes, and they also don't have public shareholders. For example, they're a
Yeah.
private
Yeah.
company, right? So
Yeah.
so like so there's
Well, no,
well very
I
different,
agree, right? Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. Like, Overwatch is just trying to make as much money as possible, right? But
right?
like, it's like,
But
do I
I
care about how
also
much money they make?
but I also think that it's not just Overwatch. It's not just Blizzard. I think that almost every studio is trying to make money because that's how they keep the lights on. Like, think about it
Yeah.
this way. So, like, my pushback on this is like, if they tried to make the game more fun, they probably could. But the thing is, the game probably won't last a year from now because they won't have the budget to keep it running.
Yeah. What I'm saying is like, okay, when I say like, okay, I want these changes, right?
Mhm.
I am saying that purely from my selfish bias
Right,
POV
right.
on what makes the game fun, right?
Yeah.
In terms of money, I don't know. I don't have their engagement numbers, right? Maybe if I mean they probably make way more money if they ignore me, but yeah, uh, but yeah, they
I mean,
probably would. But I don't know. It's like I think okay, maybe you'll make way more money in the next 2 years or whatever, right?
right.
But like, how long do you want Overwatch to last? You know, is it worth doing these things that people hate, right? Doing all these scummy things with the monetization.
Well, okay.
Is it?
So, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by scam monetization? What do you mean?
Well, they have like 500 different they have 500 different like currencies in the game. They've got like these bundles that come out when they're like they're discounted when they first come out, whereas like they were never meant to be that much in the first place, and now they're adding like $100 bundles and stuff like this. And it's like, sure, you might make a bit of money, but then it's like, you're gonna turn away some players. But maybe you won't. Maybe I mean, it turns away me. Like I've not spent any money on Overwatch 2 just because I don't
But
really like the monetization of the game.
but that's the thing,
But
Chazm. How many like if you were to like if you were at how many people do you think are like you in Overwatch? How many like
that's what I
percentage
mean. I
wise?
I don't know. I don't probably. I mean, okay. How have you spent money on the game?
Personally, no. I mean, maybe a
Oh,
little bit,
really? Have you?
a
Wait,
little
really? Have you
bit.
not? You not? Okay, okay.
Like a battle pass here, maybe in there, but I haven't really bought. Like, I
Mm,
personally don't care about skins. Personally, like, not my thing.
yeah, yeah, same. Yeah. No, I don't think many people are like me. A lot of this stuff is like, yeah, you probably will lose money. A lot of my ideas, you probably will lose money, right?
Yeah.
But my premise is, at the end of the day, if you just do what's best for the game, you try and make a fun game,
Hmm.
um, you try not to be scummy, you try to be a good person. I think in the long term, the next 20 years even, right?
Hmm.
I think you'll have more success if you just try and make a good game, right? At the end of the day, just let the devs do what they want, because it's not really the devs making these decisions, right? The devs don't want to put out a new hero every. I mean, we get a new hero every season now, right? Isn't it
Yeah,
every like?
something like that.
I mean,
Yeah, for a year.
I mean,
Yeah,
and you can clearly see like the quality is dropping off, right? I
sure.
don't blame them, um, but it's like, do the artists want to do that? Do the people, the devs are probably proud of their work, right? Do they want to make a hero every 1.5 months, like rushing to put something out? It's like I think at the end of the day, if you treat your devs with like respect, you let them work on stuff they actually want to work on, which is basically Valve.
Hmm.
Valve just lets all their employees basically do what they want, and um, obviously it has positives and negatives, right? Because Valve just don't make the third game ever, right? And
Yeah.
then CS2 was kind of a disaster. I'm pretty sure CS2 was kind of a buggy mess because I think a lot of people are working on Deadlock because they can just work on whatever game they want.
Yeah.
But I think, as we've seen with Steam, right, they've been around for however long. They've got no sign of slowing down by just being the good guy. Um,
But it's a whole different model. It's very difficult to compare something like Counter-Strike to Overwatch because it's entirely different model. So like
well, I think
Counter-Strike doesn't
Deadlock
re
you can compare.
well, Deadlock in the long like when it's like in the alpha and the beta state, once the game is gonna release, it's not going to be updated much. Like the whole purpose of alpha beta is like, what
Yeah,
can we change about the game so people when they play the game, it's gonna be feel like it's perfect. Like Counter Strike have felt throughout the years, or Dota have felt throughout the years. Like games like Counter Strike or Dota get an update once every half a decade, right?
yeah,
And maybe they'll add like a new gun or like a new they'll add like an extra door in a map, but they're never big
yeah,
changes. But it's a
yeah,
whole different model than something like Overwatch. And they also like the monetization doesn't even come from the content in the game itself. So like the way Valve are doing it, it's like, let's make a perfect game and we'll monetize something that doesn't directly affect the game in any way. So like
yeah,
skins in short.
yeah, yeah.
But with Overwatch, it's entirely different audience. Like the thing is, you
No,
are
no,
looking for the perfect game.
I'm just saying I like that way they do it. I think the way they do it with the big updates every now and again, like TF2, sometimes they'd go years and years and years. They'd put out an update, it was like massive, it would change the game, right?
Yeah.
Personally, for me, I prefer that. Now, am I in the minority of Overwatch players? Probably. I probably am like the wrong generation now, which is kind of crazy because I'm literally 25 years old. But
Yeah.
apparently, there is a whole new generation now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a lot of my ideas, I'm not trying to. They probably wouldn't make more money, right, in the
Yeah.
next however many years.
Do
But
you think your idea would make money long term? Let's say 10 years. Do you think you will
well,
make more money?
I don't know. I think we'll have to see with Deadlock, right? If Deadlock does well long term, I think that'll prove just making a good game is the better option. But we'll have to see. Maybe just rinsing people for skins, making everything super easy is maybe that is the way. I mean, maybe you make a load of money,
Yeah.
and yeah, I don't know.
So let me circle back here for a second. So if you said I don't know, but Blizzard is like a multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah, they've got every stat on everything.
Yeah, but do you think it's even on let's just ask for you, because like technically you don't own a business in a sense, like, correct me if I'm wrong, you don't own a business in a sense of like Blizzard, but you do have your YouTube channel, you have your Twitch channel, which you definitely make money on.
I do run some like online businesses and stuff as
Oh,
well.
okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
So let's just put it that way. So let's say that you upload a video on Bolt that does amazing views, insane views, like, no shooting. Let's just use that as an example. No shooting. This gets hundreds of thousands of views. And you see that people like it and people enjoy it. Would you say to tell yourself, and you're making money, right? You keep the lights on your house, you pay rent, etc., etc. Would you, if you just for yourself, would you say, let's cut off doing that and let me try something new that I don't know if it will pay off in the future, while sacrificing the thing that is already working?
That is actually exactly what I do. That I basically just make content that like I want to make on YouTube and stuff. And I mean, like you say, right? I stop streaming for long periods of time. If I don't like the game, I go play Deadlock, right? I just quit and play Deadlock. I went and played Rivals. I'm back playing Overwatch. I could have stuck with Deadlock, right? Deadlock's probably the bigger upcoming game.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've never done that. Personally, I kind of wish I was more like that, right? Maybe I probably would have made more money over the years if I did that. But for me personally, I can't force myself to make something I don't like.
Okay.
So yeah, if you ever see a YouTube video from me, it's because like I actually wanted to make that, right? I think long term that does help, right? Because I could have pumped out. I know a lot of streamers do like daily videos, right? They do like a daily slot video.
Yeah.
It's like I could have done that, right? And I actually did that for a little while. And then it was like, man, I kind of just want to make better, funnier, more entertaining content. And I just think long term, I think that I'm going to do better because of that. I think eventually people would get, they get sick of you doing the same thing over and over and over.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying this transitions really well to what he said, that basically, another tweet that he said that basically Blizzard incentivizes streamers to not talk badly about their game through the drop loophole. I saw he got a lot of pushback on that.
Yeah, from the people who get the drops.
Yeah. And before we move on to this topic, and what I'd like to ask, you said at the beginning that I'm trying to be this influencer, right? Like I'm trying to capitalize more, and I definitely don't make fun of that. I think that, in my humble opinion, it's a smart decision to do. The reason why I asked you at the beginning, and it's kind of like more curious to me, it's not necessarily the audience, something that I was curious about, is that, well, you have a big audience and you don't seem to be streaming as frequently or uploading as frequently. So the question that I would like to ask, like, why not? That I asked you at the beginning, like, why not? Right? And well, now you said that I want to be this influencer, I want to put out tweets, I want to get traction. So my question is, what changed? Because it seems to be a little bit different than what you just said at right now.
Yeah. Well, when I say that, I mean, like, I want to use other social medias more, like Twitter. Basically, I've always, I feel, I don't, personally for me, I don't like tweeting and stuff. Because it's just, I kind of just feel cringe tweeting. But I was just I don't know. I've just got this new feeling where I just need to get over it and just basically type what I think on the keyboard.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've never been an influencer over the years. I've never been like that influencer person.
Uh-huh.
But it's more not that I'm not actually rage baiting. A lot of people think I'm rage baiting and trying to farm Twitter money. I
We're
don't
in the
even.
same boat, man. We're in the same boat in that one.
I mean, are you making money from Twitter? I'm not making fucking
No, I
money from
mean
Twitter.
I got payouts.
I wish I was.
People, I think people overestimate how much you make from Twitter. I think I showed it to my
Yeah,
stream. I did in like 5 years. I've made maybe $20, like
yeah.
simply.
It's yeah. You have to make legendary rage bait that like 10 billion people will fall for, not some
Yeah,
shitty Overwatch rage bait.
yeah, but
Um,
the question is like, why did you decide I want to do that? Why did I?
uh,
Like a shift in
well,
thinking.
I got no clue, man. I just woke up one day and was like, I'm just gonna start. But I think a lot of it is because I've started playing Overwatch again.
Hmm.
Um, and I've recently kind of got back into the algorithm because I was out with the algorithm, and it really I've just noticed. I swear the whole Overwatch community, it's so different in the past 2 years even.
Hmm.
Um, it's just completely changed. Um, so I just kind of wanted to put my thoughts out there, and a lot of people seem to be very mad that I just gave my opinion on Twitter. So I might as well just roll with it now.
Wait, but don't you think a part of it is like, well, the reason why I put my thoughts out here is because I want more people to
Mhm.
watch me. And
Um,
do you care about your numbers at all? It's a genuine question.
I wish I did, to be honest. Like I wish I did, but I kind of just don't really care because it's not my full time thing. Like I don't just only do Overwatch and streaming and stuff, right?
Okay.
Um, I wish I cared more, but I care more about like I said, I care more about making good videos, making good content, stuff like that, than just like pure numbers. Um,
How do you know your content is good though? Based on what metric?
um, just if I like it. To be honest, I don't actually look at my YouTube numbers. I don't actually look at my viewers on Twitch. I don't really have any of the numbers up. I just kind of make what's fun for me, and then if people like it, then they like it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to make money, right? You'd be covering every patch note. You'd be on every single thing, right?
Mhm.
But that's not really my thing. I'm kind of outside of the bubble. I think a lot of Overwatch because I don't really cover news because I'm just playing ball the same hero for the past 10 years. So
I was
nothing's changed.
Yeah, I was the same thing. Like just like you, not too long ago. I kind of made a shift
Mhm.
personally, and
Yeah.
the reason why I made a shift is actually quite simple for me. It's like, and maybe that's something that can resonate with you. It's like people. What do you think people watch you for?
People watch me because probably half of them because I play Wrecking Ball. Um, a lot of the time you have to basically make it so people are forced to watch you. So you've got
No.
to get so good at hero, you've got
Hmm.
to do so much tech that it's like, okay, well I have to watch this guy, right? And then they have to listen to me being like annoying and stuff, right? Um, you kind of I think to make it as a streamer, you have to have a reason why people have to watch you. If they want this certain brand of content, then you're that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um,
but also in Deadlock and Marvel Rivals, it did have a decent amount of viewers.
Well, I think it was the same reason. A lot of it was just because I one tricked certain heroes, and I made a certain type of video and content that people liked.
So it's not the Wrecking Ball. So do you think that people watch you perhaps for your personality? They kind of like, they
I
like
I
you?
don't think I don't think there's like two people maybe in my chat that watch for me.
Do you
Yeah,
really think? But if you like, I'll give you an example. When I stream anything but Overwatch, I lose a decent amount of my
yeah,
viewers. So
hmm
to me, it comes to the understanding people watch me for Overwatch, right? I mean, the people
yeah,
who stay obviously don't watch me for Overwatch. The people who stay past Overwatch are probably people who like me. Like who maybe
yeah.
agree with my ideas. They like the way things that I talk about, etc., right? But if you like, let's say you stream 500 viewers in Overwatch, but it doesn't really change your Marvel Rivals and in Deadlock, and you can see the same amount of viewers, they probably don't stay because you play
Well,
Wrecking Ball.
well, no, I actually lost like tons of viewers playing those games. But I just built like a whole new community basically every time, and then ditched them to move on to the next game. But no. When I went to Rivals, I mean, I had like I don't even know how many viewers, but probably like less than 100 playing Rivals. Um, and then I just did the same thing I do on ball, where I just played one. I played Iron Fist so many times that people had to watch me. Um, but
But a lot of
yeah, I
people are
mean,
like you. But a lot of people are just like you, one tricks or like whatever. The people don't watch them. What's the difference then?
um, well, because I'm better than them, I guess. I don't know, maybe.
I mean,
Uh,
you could say, but like the perception of someone is better is like, I mean, how would you tell? So like one is one above all and the other is one above all.
well,
So
you need that aura basically where other streamers you need like streamer reactions, right? You
uh-huh.
need to like flip a stream, you killing a streamer, and him going, "Oh my god, this guy's the best Iron Fist ever," right?
Yeah.
And then everyone believes it. It's sort of you have to give yourself that aura that you're that best person on that hero. You know, like for you, right? You're like the coaching guy,
Hmm.
right? If I wanted coaching, it's like, well, who would I go for? Let me think. It's just awkward, right? It's just you. Like, if they wanted coaching on any kind of hero,
But it's
you've
branding.
kind of given yourself that aura of that guy, you know?
What do you say, aura is branding? You know, it's like essentially a branding.
Um, Kind of branding, but it's like it's not just about how many followers or how many this or that you have. It's like it's kind of this I don't know what it is. Not aura.
Yeah,
There's a better word. I guess branding.
it's basically like branding is basically the association of like
Yeah.
outcome to something. Like when people think about coaching, this they think about me a lot of times, or like whoever coach they think of, is because like it's by association. It's like branding. The reason why when you think about
Mhm.
sports, think about Nike is because they do a phenomenal job at branding. Like for example, every time you look at a basketball player, you see Nike, so you associate athletics and being somebody who's athletic with Nike. They made
Yeah,
that
yeah,
association.
yeah. It's random. Yeah,
But the thing is, like, what I'm saying is that I think there's more to the reason why people watch you. I don't think they watch you because you play Iron Fist or Wrecking Ball. I mean, I'm sure some do, but I think the people
yeah,
who keep watching you are probably because they like you, you know.
yeah. I mean, maybe there's a few.
And if that's the case, then like, wouldn't they want to see more of you? And I think that's kind of the shift that I made. I also used to barely make any videos and stuff, and only make videos that I'm proud of. But I came to realize if people watch me, they want to like they wouldn't want to watch less of me,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
No, yeah. I've kind of came to that realization as well. But I do have a second channel that I'm trying to post to more, like, and kind of do that. Um, but yeah, you're right. Like with my tweets, that's kind of what I'm thinking. It's like, you know what? If I have a Twitter and I have a brand, like I might as well just put my thoughts out there. And if everyone hates me for whatever I say, it's like, okay, they're gonna forget about it tomorrow, right? They don't really actually care that much. Um, so yeah, I mean, like I said, that's why I'm trying to become like an influencer as well. Just because I mean, you might as well, right?
See,
You might as well if you have the audience there.
you capitalize on the opportunities. If people like me, people watch
Yeah,
me. Might as well just and by all means, of course. I mean, I think I think it's kind of ridiculous to claim that if you have this amount of attention, you shouldn't like monetize it. Why not, right?
yeah, yeah,
And in my again, kind of might be a goofy question, but you said you have your online businesses and stuff, right?
yeah.
Let's say by tomorrow you explode and you start making way more money on Twitch and YouTube. Would you completely
Mm.
drop your online business and become a full time or whatever makes you the most amount of money?
Uh, I probably should, but I probably wouldn't because I just kind of like I go in phases. I grind something for a long time and then I get burnt out. Next thing, you know, that's kind of been my whole thing, my whole like streaming career, I guess, is just I play an absolute load. Maybe I stream for like 6 months nonstop, and then I burn out, and then I'm playing I don't know, I'm playing Deadlock, right?
Okay.
Um, if I cared about numbers and I really did care about the money like that much, then I probably would. I should do that, but
Hmm.
yeah, I'm not. That's why I say I'm trying to be an influencer. I'm not a very good influencer, so I'm trying my best.
But what's the end goal there with the with the influencer?
To make money, I guess. Well, I mean, yeah.
So
I mean,
that's what I
I mean,
meant. But that's the thing, right? It's like I think that you're to an extent, correct me if I'm wrong. It's like kind of feels to you a little bit weird to talk about it. It almost feels like you are doing something wrong by wanting to
yeah,
monetize your
no, I
attention
100%. I feel, yeah, no, I feel wrong being like an influencer. I feel wrong. Yeah, I can't. It's hard.
because of the
Um,
association. I'm assuming you assume that like influencers could be scammers because some influencers did scamming or like scams, and it's like
um,
they use their influence in a bad way, perhaps.
well, it's more I just kind of want to do what I think is good content and stuff. Do you know
Hmm.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I want to put something out that I'm proud of, rather than pumping slop out.
Okay.
So it does feel bad to put something out that you're not proud of, right?
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, no one cares. Like, okay, let's say I'm not proud of this or whatever, right? It's like at the end of the day, no one cares. Everyone's gonna forget after 5 minutes.
You're
So I
right.
might as well tweet. I might as well do all this stuff. No one's gonna care in like a year about any of this, right?
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, the people who don't care wouldn't care anyways, but you're tweeting out for the
yeah.
people who do care, you know? And
Well, it's like you, right? You've obviously annoyed a lot of people over the years. I
uh,
don't. To be honest, I literally don't even know what for, but I know people are annoyed at you.
I
Um,
also don't know what for, you know?
yeah,
Like,
I'm trying to think, and I don't even know. I literally can't even.
um, we.
Um,
We've kind of back up. I think we chat about this back and forth, and I like to kind of present
yeah,
what I think is because I think, and you know, actually, before we get into this, because we talk about monetization and stuff, I kind of lost my turn of thought for a second. So, when you say so you said that essentially that Overwatch, people are afraid to critique Overwatch, in particular, big streamers and big YouTubers, because they're
yeah.
incentivized by the drop system.
Hmm.
So essentially, you're on your, you know, you are Blizzard lovely boy, you get drops, increase viewers,
Yeah,
increase money. You say something bad about Blizzard, you don't get these drops, right?
yeah.
So where did this kind of like is this something you've seen happen, or have you seen there's like an assumption, or what is it exactly?
Well, I've noticed it happen in like every game recently. Like, I know like Tarkov. Tarkov's one of the worst for it. Like Tarkov's a terrible game. The devs are super scummy, but they give all these streamers their own item in the game and their
Hmm.
own drops.
Hmm.
And all these streamers who have been talking shit about the game over the years, all of a sudden they're all playing it, not saying anything, right?
Hmm.
Um, and also because I've been out of the game for like I've not really been in the Overwatch algorithm on Twitter for like 2 years, right? And back then, people were always like, I feel like Challenger score, if that was added a few years ago, people would just complain and complain and complain until they removed it. And I feel like no one's really complaining that much about it. And then I was looking on Twitch, and then it's like, oh, these people all have exclusive drops, right? And I know every game is doing this, and I'm not even saying that these people are actually changing their opinions, right? I'm not even saying that they're doing it on purpose. I'm not saying that they're shills. But at the end of the day, right, if
Hmm.
if you're getting paid, if you're getting drops, right, which is indirect payment,
Hmm.
which I think people underestimate how much money you're making from drops. I mean, they're making from just the drops views alone, then a lot of people are making tens of thousands of dollars, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Um, there's a bias there, right? There's some kind of bias. There's some kind of if it's unconscious or it's conscious, you're doing it on purpose. It doesn't really matter, right? There's obviously some form of bias there. So I actually looked into the terms of service,
Hmm.
and it was like um, you have to maintain a positive atmosphere when playing the game, otherwise we'll kick you out, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, so these streamers have signed that. So there's obviously something. I think this is happening in every game. There's something to that. I definitely think there's something to it. And
Hmm.
I'm not saying anyone's in the wrong. I'm just saying if you're a viewer of the game and you're listening to someone's opinion, you should be looking, okay, is this guy got any kind of monetary incentive to talk about the game in any way?
Hmm.
Um, basically, people's argument was just, oh, these streamers always talk bad about the game. But it's like, but at the end of the day, it's like there's an incentive there to not talk bad about the game, right?
Yeah.
Um,
You're
yeah,
saying that you don't judge for Blizzard to choose to do so from like a
yeah,
business perspective. You
yeah,
don't judge the streamers per se like doing that because there's definitely the
yeah,
incentive there. But you're saying it's like it's a descriptive truth. That's what happens,
yeah.
and all you should be like, you know, when somebody talks,
People should be aware.
yeah, you should be aware. But
Yeah,
also, you received on some of these of the post itself, you got quote tweeted by a bunch of streamers who, you know, as you said, are a part of the program, and
yeah,
they said,
yeah,
"Well, Chasm, I criticize the game all the time," and
yeah.
so
Well, it's just
yeah.
it's just like an extremely low IQ argument. I'm gonna be honest.
Hmm.
Well, it's like, well, yeah, but I don't even think a lot of these people are even censoring themselves. Probably most of them aren't in any way, right? But
Hmm.
you have to admit there's an unconscious bias there. It's like me being sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, right?
Uh-huh.
And then being like, guys, I would play this game right now if I wasn't sponsored by them.
Hmm.
I trust me, I really do like the game, and maybe I do like the game, but how can you trust someone? You can't really trust their opinion if there's a monetary incentive behind it. And I also think the fact that it's so many people who get the drops. If it was a few people who got the drops, I would say more. They want to sort of give it to the bigger streamers or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But it's the fact that they gave it to so many people. They basically gave it to everyone in the Overwatch Twitch category, right? It's so that they can have a list, and it's like if you're not on the list, they can take you off that list at any time they want. And there's a lot of people not on that list who are like big streamers, like and there has been people taken off the list that I know.
You're not a part of
But
the.
yeah, I mean,
you're not on the list. You don't get dropped.
I'm not on the list. I'm not on the Blizzard list. But...
And do you think that it has to do with the fact that you criticize the game, or do you think it has more
No, not with me. Not with me. I just think I'm not on the list just because. No, it's nothing to do with that. It's just not really my content, and I've never really been in contact with Blizzard, right? I'm sure if I like messaged them or something, I could probably get on it at some point. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it, but that's not really my content to watch, like OWCS and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, just reading the terms of service, and it says, okay, maintain a positive atmosphere about the game and stuff, and it was kind of got me thinking, like, man, like, there's definitely something going on here that you can't deny, right? A lot of people are replying to me. They're saying it's not true. It's like, well, what's not true? I'm not really I don't really understand what they're saying is not true. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, well, it's true. But I'm not saying Blizzard's in the wrong. I mean, to be fair, maybe Blizzard's in the wrong. They probably should just be giving it to everyone. If you're going to give it to 91 people, why would you not just give it to everyone? It's obviously a good business decision. But yeah, all I'm saying to viewers is if you're hearing an opinion from someone, you should probably see, who are they? Is there an incentive there? Is there something more to that they're saying? And that's all it is, That's basically all I was saying.
Okay.
And that for some reason made a lot of people mad.
So how would you as a view, like, okay, so you're kind of saying, well, when somebody is afraid to critique or like gives his opinion about the game, especially when he's a big streamer that's incentivized to do so by Blizzard, just like you take it with a grain of salt, and that's what you're saying in essence.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
So how would the viewer be responsible or like know or do like go do his own research? How would he do that? Because at the end of the day, like when you say critiquing the game, right? At the end of the day, it boils down to a lot of it boils down to subjective things. You say fun. The game isn't fun, but fun for you is not fun for me. It's not fun for Greg. It's not fun for Jimmy.
Yeah.
Right. So what exactly do you mean that, like, when you talk about a critique and okay, this guy is saying that because he's essentially a paid shill. I'm not saying that's what you're saying, but I'm saying that if he was a paid shill and he didn't give his opinion, so what would you, as a person, as a person who watches and play the game, how would you do the due diligence of doing this?
I mean, you can look up the list. There's a list out there of the people who are on it, and it's also, I mean, you don't have to, right? I don't actually think these streamers are like scumbags who are shills for Blizzard. I was just putting it out there that that's a thing, and you should, if you're watching someone's opinion, right, on the game, you should know that that's a thing, right? There is an exclusive drops program, and this is a thing in like every game, I'm pretty sure nowadays. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be, I don't know, would you reckon it'll be made like illegal? I feel like it's bordering legality, right? Because you can't do undisclosed ads. When you do an ad, you have to do hashtag ad. You have to say, oh yeah, I'm sponsored and all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
With drops, it's basically a way to do an undisclosed ad without
because it's indirect payment.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
indirect
These
payment.
people don't have to say. Yeah, they don't have to say hashtag ad. I'm not sponsored by Blizzard and all this. I can say what I want. But then in the contract, it does say you have to maintain a positive atmosphere about the game, and they can remove you at any time. And drops is like a massive thing. Like people are making, they're making, like they're doubling their wage for the month. Probably they're doubling their revenue for the month when drops are on. So 100%, there's something there. You can't, even if they don't think there is some kind of thing there where you don't want to lose that, right? You don't want to lose the drops. You want to be in the good boy books, and that they never had that before, right? That was never a thing before in the past. And now it is a thing. So it's something to consider. That's all I was saying, basically.
Fair enough. So where I was kind of like, when we kind of drifted off from the previous topic is I think that also the reason why, like, you wouldn't be, people view in a certain way or people hold certain opinions in Overwatch, and you're a 6v6er, right? As they call it nowadays. It's almost like
Six.
like you're a flat earther or something. Like
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, flat Earth. I'm MAGA. I did get someone calling me MAGA today, which was great.
because you're a 6v6er.
Yeah. Apparently, you love Donald Trump if you like 6v6. So
Do you know where this came from? Like it's kind of like a meme, but it's not really a meme. Do you know where it comes from? Do you remember the tweet?
uh,
Oh, what? Chazm died. What happened to Wait, is it me? No. That's
can you hear me?
yeah. Now I hear you. What happened?
I don't know. I didn't die. Did I? I think I'm not sure. Maybe
No,
it was
no,
Discord.
it's fine. So
Uh,
yeah.
so what are you saying? Where did it come from? As in what the whole thing of like 6v6 equals flat earther.
Yeah. Like it's kind of like people say it half jokingly, but not really. But do you know where it comes? It was a tweet. It was a tweet by SK.
Well, yeah, there was a tweet by SK saying something like that, but like I don't think that's the cause, right? I think this is just a very American thing, right? There's this kind of thing in America right now where it's like every single thing is like political, every single thing is like left or right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like if you're on the right, if you're on the 6v6 side, you're against them, right? You're in the different tribe.
Yeah.
You're right wing, you're a Nazi, you're this, you're that. And it's kind of insane, and I'm kind of witnessing it firsthand because I was actually a
Sorry, you got cut off. What do you say? You were 1, 2, 3 chasm? Chasm cut off. By the way, I put the tweet of what I'm talking about here. Tweet made by SK, by the way. Put it right here for you to see where kind of like the meme comes from. Kind of. Not really, but it's not really a meme. Hello?
Yeah,
It's me. I fixed it. Sorry,
Okay,
VPN stuff. My bad. So I basically put the SK tweet right on the screen so everybody can see. You can also see if you'd like. So
Yeah.
just like kind of where when people make reference to 6v6 or MAGA politics, they just kind of this is
well, I actually don't think that's like the start of it. I think it's just a whole American thing in general. I don't think that necessarily that was that tweet.
Uh-huh.
I think a lot of it is like unconscious from these people, maybe that they have this whole thing that it's like there's to them it's two sides, right? It's always two sides to these people, and you're either on the wrong side or the right side. But I was never a 5v5er, right? I was never a 6v6er. When it came out 6v6, I played it and I was like, oh, this is terrible. I didn't like it, right? Because I wasn't used to it.
Yeah.
It was only like maybe 2 months ago I just tried it out again and I just really enjoyed it and I was like, man,
But TF2 was 66.
yeah, but it's completely different. TF2. No, TF2 competitive was 6v6. I didn't even like the 6v6 in TF2 though. I played Highlander, which is the 9v9.
Oh, okay.
Which is more like what 6v6 is in Overwatch. But yeah, I don't know. I think at first I was just dying loads, right? So I was like, man, ball sucks in this mode. And then I played it more, and then I realized, man, you can actually kill the tanks. It's so fun when you can actually kill tanks. And then I started getting this like vibe from everyone after I became a 6v6er that I'm some kind of like conspiracy theory. Like it was so weird.
Yeah.
And then I kind of just realized, yeah, it's this whole thing of very American thing of like, right versus left. Everything's political. When, I mean, the game was 6v6 for years. Is it that crazy to say, oh, I don't like 5v5? You know what I mean? It's just an opinion at the end of the day. But yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see where it goes though as well, because they might be making 6v6 the main mode. I have heard that's like some kind of leak. Not sure how true it is, but there has been like rumblings that they're going to make it the main mode.
It's essentially like to me. I'll kind of give you my perspective on 5v5 and 6v6. To me, I was a pro 5v5er before it even came out. I like for different reasons. I think that 5v5 versus 6v6 is a symptom of a different. It has a different root cause. 5v5, 6v6, the game is always gonna be shit. In terms of balance, I say it's not a shit game. It's just like, in my opinion, it doesn't have the best balance it could be. And I think the root cause is tanks in general. I think that tanks are just the biggest bottleneck that this game has to offer. That's how I look at it. Tanks basically create long queue times because nobody plays the role. And also, tanks create really bad balancing because essentially, in order for you to enjoy tank, you either need to have a bunch of HP or a bunch of HP as a character or a bunch of HP as a shield. It's like people
Yeah.
talk about 5.5 6v6. Yes, I agree. I hate Thanos tanks. Don't get me wrong. I don't like the fact that the tank can have 700 HP and you shoot a tank, it doesn't die. And essentially, if you lose a tank on the fight, you essentially lose the fight for sure. Comparison DPS and support, you know? You lose DPS and support in the fight is still salvageable. You lose a tank, it's over. But on the other hand, when I play 6v6 and double shield is being picked, well, it's essentially pick your poison. It's either I shoot a 700 HP tank or I shoot an 800 HP shield.
Yeah.
And two of them, you know?
Mhm.
So it's like the same thing. It's like it's the same thing happening. And that's why why I think that Blizzard came out with the idea of like, let's do 1-3-2. Let's do 6v6, but in like a 1-3-2 format where tanks wouldn't feel oppressive. And tanks wouldn't bottleneck our Q time because we'll still need one of those, but it's not going to be as strong because you have three people shooting a shield, if they have a shield, or a mitigation or something. So I think the root cause actually, I think that if the game turned out to be 6v6 tomorrow, we would still see the same feedback of white, which was, by the way, in Overwatch 1, if you remember. I mean, one of the biggest criticisms in Overwatch 1 about tank players, like, dude, like, I'm so tired of shooting a shield. You would just play against Orisa Sigma, and they would just cycle their shield indefinitely. I mean, you didn't feel because you played ball, but Orisa, shielding, boom, break, shield. Okay, now there's a Sigma shield, you break it. Orisa shield is back, and it's like, just goes on and on and on. And it's the same. So they switch it up into a 5v5. And what they did is like, okay, we're dropping the idea of shields, but now let's compensate the HP because they don't have a shield. Let's give them 300 HP. And they don't die, and they have like 7,000 armor. So it's like the same thing, essentially.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree what you're saying. It's basically it's a thing between tank players' enjoyment, queue times, and then people's enjoyment playing against a gigabuff tank. Those are basically the things you have to balance. I do think tank is always the least played role in every game.
Sure.
It's always going to be the least played role. People don't like playing tank, right? So it's really hard to fix. But I think, okay, you solve the queues, in my opinion, with just open queue. I prefer open queue any day over roll queue. And then 6v6, I think you have to just make tanks not OP. I think right now, I'm not sure if you played much 6v6. I think tank is pretty terrible. Like it's pretty horrific. I think if that became the main mode, every tank player would be crying because you can just one shot them. They just die instantly, right? Now, I actually think the current 6v6 is great. Like, I actually like that tanks die instantly and they're just like DPS or whatever. But obviously, you need tank players, right, to actually play the game. Otherwise, you're never gonna have a tank, right?
Yes.
So I think you can find a balance. I do think you can find a balance where tanks, it needs to be open queue. Tanks need to be fun, but not OP. And I think it's possible. I think tanks in Overwatch 1 were a little bit too OP. I think if they just nerfed every tank very slightly, like let's say double shield, right? If both those tanks were like nerfed quite a bit to how they are kind of, like, you can play it right now, right? You could play with the Orisa perk, you could play double shield, you could play Ryan, Sigma. But right now they just get beamed because there's so much damage in the game nowadays. And because I'm not sure if they actually have lower HP than Overwatch 1. I'm not too sure about that.
I think the same, but everyone else has more HP.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I agree. It's so hard to find a balance, and I don't know what's true because I'm biased because I play ball and like ball's OP no matter what, and also I have the perk that one shots tanks.
Yeah.
So like I am just rolling around one shot on every tank. But yeah, it's really hard. You have to balance all these things, and you have to make tanks be able to have fun. And maybe the only way to solve it is by adding tanks that are just like fun and not necessarily about tanking. Like let's say Doomfist, for example, where he's not really a tank, but he's not really a DPS. He's like a bruiser, right? I think they need more heroes like that can kind of half tank, half DPS, and sort of half fill the roles. Kind of like Sombra used to be, where you could play solo heal with a Sombra, and the Sombra just hacks the Mega on like Temple of Anubis, right? And the whole team just takes the Mega the whole game, and then you kind of have a half support, half DPS type hero on your team. But that's my general idea for the game, is to sort of add heroes that it's not just a healer, it's not just a tank. you can kind of fill multiple roles at the same time. Because you're always gonna have that problem. There's never if you have 6v6, you're never gonna have enough tanks. Even like with open queue, right? You're gonna
Yeah.
have maybe like one tank, 3 DPS most games.
Hmm.
So you basically need to add tanks that DPS players want to play. I think that's the main thing.
Which would be essentially Zarya and
Doom, Zarya, yeah, and make them more about DPS and maybe give them less HP, but give them more damage in some way, make them more mobile maybe. But I mean, we have like what Doom, Zarya, maybe Roadhog. I
Queen.
don't really think Queen maybe, but I don't know. I'm not sure DPS players would enjoy her that much compared to playing DPS, right? Because DPS, in my opinion, it's like the most fun role, right?
Yes.
Or even when you're playing support, the most fun thing to do is the DPS, right?
Sure. Yes.
The most fun thing to do in the game is always going to be to kill people.
Mm-hmm.
So, you have to allow tanks to kill people without making it aids for the person playing against it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which it's yeah, I agree. It's super hard to do. And I do think they probably just gotta have to experiment and just do what they're doing right now with the experiments and just see what sticks. And I don't know if anything will ever stick, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. They might as well try. You might as well try because everyone's going to complain about 5v5 forever.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to complain about tanks forever. So you might as well just try, in my opinion, and just see what happens. But yeah, I personally enjoy 6v6 open queue, but I'm obviously biased.
So you said that generally there's a lot of problems in the game. There's you have your fair critiques, and you think that, well, if you were to make a game, you would try to bank on something long term. But recently there was basically a statement released that Overwatch basically had its best quarter since 2020, 2022, which is exactly when Overwatch 2 was or announced, or at the very least, like was about to come out or already came out. So do you think perhaps even though you might have a disagreement with how Overwatch is operating, do you think they might be doing things correctly?
Yeah, to be honest, I think a lot of people think that I just absolutely hate the game and think it's all terrible. I think the game's great. I think it's actually really fun. I also kind of think they are riding off the original devs who made the game in the first place to a certain degree. I think Overwatch's core gameplay and like core engine is like so good that it basically I think this game cannot die. Almost, it's going to take a lot for the game to die. But yeah, I mean, obviously, what they're doing, if it's getting massive pretension, is working to a certain degree. But yeah, my whole thing is just like I think make the game fun. You'll see, long term, you'll always win, right? But maybe you'll make less money, right?
Yeah, but
I do agree. I mean, I could be in terms of making money. Yeah, Blizzard maybe they're way better than me, right?
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? But it's essentially
So,
the essence of business is to make money, right? Like what
yeah.
The best case scenario, of course, with every business in the world is to make the most amount of money by providing value, by providing equal value. Like for example, no value for money equals scam, right? But if you like, for example, like the people that say that skins are way too expensive, and this I know that I'm gonna get backlash on top of that, and you might agree with that skins might be too expensive. I'm not a skin guy myself. I never really bought skins, maybe one or two mythic weapons, whatever. But the thing is like maybe the skins are expensive to you because you don't see the value in them. But clearly, if Blizzard is making hella money, it means that it's valuable to a lot of people.
I have the exact same like opinion. Like people always say like when I say that it's scummy, I'm not talking about like just the raw prices. I mean, I always say the same. It's like, well, who cares what they're just going to charge what people pay. When they reduce the price of a skin, and you see people go, oh my god, they're really thinking about us, man. They reduced the price of the skin. It's like, bro, do you understand what's going on here? Like they're not reducing it because they like you. They're reducing it because they'll make more money by reducing the price, right?
Yeah.
Because they'll get more sales. Yeah, personally, I don't care whatever they charge because that's just what people want to pay.
Free market.
Yeah, I don't care about the prices. I don't think that's scummy. I just think a lot of when they add a load of currencies and it becomes mobile gamey. I think it's a bit scummy.
Okay,
for sure. and I don't think it's okay compared to most games. It's not that scummy, right? But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't hold Blizzard to like a high standard, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of like prices, like I mean, personally I would never pay $20 for a skin that you can't trade. Like to me, that's just like a waste of money.
Hmm.
But just obviously a lot of people do that, right? So
Yeah.
it's just worth what it's worth. People want to pay that. They want to pay that. You can't really call the raw pricing like scummy, you know. Um, but yeah, that's my opinion. I think the whole skins thing nowadays is kind of insane. Because I mean, how much was Overwatch 1? How much did the game cost?
I think
It's like,
40 basic, 39.99.
but that was when it came out. But I think by the end, it was like I swear it was like 20, maybe. It was like less.
That's if you bought it from third-party websites.
I would never do that. I would never do that. Yeah, I guess it was 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely never did that.
The reason why the price lowered is because towards the end they had like a bunch of sales where you get free codes and like the whole gray market was inflated
Yeah.
with a bunch of copies that you could buy, so they essentially lowered their number. But the regular version was $40.
Well, think about like any game you could buy right off Steam, and then you compare it to the price of skins. It's gotten kind of insane. You know, like for $20, you could get so many good games with thousands of hours of playtime almost.
Yeah, but the modality of free game in-game microtransactions is exclusive to big companies. You cannot do it when you're a small company. Like a small indie
Yeah,
company
I'm
cannot
not saying
create the
it's wrong.
model.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's wrong or anything. I'm just saying I think I'm a little bit out of this generation of like microtransactions. Like I've never bought like a microtransaction in my life.
Yeah.
I don't really understand it. So this is probably why I would lose Blizzard a lot of money.
Hmm.
Um, I don't understand it fully, but obviously people buy them, right? They obviously
Yeah.
know that people buy them. So yeah, I mean, I'm probably out of touch. Realistically, I'm probably out of touch.
Yeah.
I just don't understand this whole new live service way of doing it. I think like CS is great, the way they do it with the trading.
But also CS is kind of like, well, not live service. CS wasn't free and then it turned free to play. CS
That
wasn't
is true.
free for quite some time as well. Dota, since it was released, I believe it was free. Deadlock is free, but like now all the big companies are making free games and they do like the new model because, well, it's more profitable, most definitely.
Yeah, I mean TF2 was the first game to go free to play. CS was also the first game to have loot boxes. So to be honest, CS Valve have basically started every live service trend at this point.
Hmm.
But every time they've done it in like a super nice way. And then every other company kind of latches on, and then you have like Valorant, bro. Like, have you seen Valorant's prices in their skins? It is unbelievable what people are paying. People are paying like hundreds and hundreds for like a knife that you can't trade, you know?
Yeah.
And obviously CS must have given that aura of like, oh yeah, this is the, super rare skin, it's worth this much. When, it's tradable. It's not the same as buying an untradeable skin directly from the company. But I think it definitely created that trend of like, this is the ultra rare, whatever, mythic. But yeah, I don't understand it. I've still never paid for a cosmetic in Overwatch. Probably never will,
So
unless they
you
make it tradable.
So you said death threats, you've been called MAGA because you are criticizing Blizzard, you're like you want to bring back the 6v6. But do you feel like gaming as a whole has been generally politicized, and do you feel that's the case specifically with Overwatch? And when you play Deadlock, for example, do you feel the same way?
Um, yeah, Deadlock definitely does not have that. Deadlock has like a whole different audience, but yeah, I mean everything's politicized nowadays. It just feels like everything is you're either in that tribe or you're not in that tribe, and
Mhm.
yeah, it's just left versus right. It's just kind of been more and more amplified over the years.
Yeah.
Probably Twitter's contributing to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, it's kind of, and you kind of see it. These people are just they're based. I don't know. They're just brainwashed, right? It's that what do they call it? Like I'm from the UK, right? Like I don't know anything about American politics. I don't care about Donald Trump and all this, right?
Hmm.
And then people are calling me MAGA, like they're saying I support Donald Trump, and
Yeah.
it's like it's such a you're basically projecting your worldview onto every single thing that exists, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's mental illness. Let's be real, it's
Yeah,
just mental illness.
I think so as well. But do you think do you think a part of what makes you go back and forth in content, or maybe it's like you just get burnt out, but do you think like a part of that reason that it's like very political and you can't just play a video game for the sake of playing a video game, especially when you're a streamer, you know, people like, I assume people would gonna, you know, show up to your channel and ask you, what do you think about the new prime minister of the UK, or like stuff
Yeah,
like that, when
yeah,
you're just, you know, you're just playing wrecking ball. Do you think a part of that
yeah.
makes it just, well, you don't want to stream because of these things happening? Do you feel?
Nah. To be honest, I kind of just like laugh it off. I sort of enjoy sort of rage baiting both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like the real viewers will you know the normal people would at least find it funny or not care.
Mm-hmm.
And if people get mad that I say, you know, make Overwatch great again or something, if that really makes you like so mad that you're gonna quit watching the stream,
Mm-hmm.
maybe they shouldn't have been watching in the first place, you know. But no, I to be honest, I mean, obviously gaming is like very like political now, right? And there's obviously both sides, and a lot of people like, I mean, calling like Overwatch woke and stuff is it's a bit far fetched,
Mm-hmm.
right? But there's obviously some games. Let's be real. There's some games that are woke, right? They
Okay.
exist. Um,
When you say woke, what do you mean exactly? Because
yeah,
some people,
well,
like, I think that some people just say different meanings to to these things.
yeah, it's kind of become a meme, woke. Basically, they make a game that has no audience, that they think that there's like an audience out there for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and a lot of the game is basically them just kind of projecting their politics, their worldview onto the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it obviously does exist with a lot of games.
Mm-hmm.
But then obviously you have the other side that is calls everything woke.
Yeah.
When you know Overwatch clearly isn't that. It's like forcing. Has Overwatch had a hero that's like forced their political beliefs or anything down people's throats? It's like not really, you know, like
I'll tell
Overwatch. I think is really good.
I'll tell
With
you
that.
what I think. I'll tell you what I think.
Go ahead.
I think I mean, I think that there was a hero. So what he said, I agree with, is that basically there's like this whole group of people online that are, let's just say, woke, based on what he said, right?
Libtards.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I'll just just call them that, and because they're so like loud, and they like
Mhm.
make these posts, and they make these things, and you know, they do these rallies and stuff. Uh, there's this assumption that it's like a lot of people, you know. And of course,
Oh
there's a
yeah, it's very
spectrum
small.
of that. You know, there's a spectrum of that. Like you can be like a super extreme libtard, right? But you can be like, you know, maybe you agree with some parts of the left, whatever, right? But the
Yeah,
thing is that because there's the assumption that because they're vocal, there's a lot of them now. Studios, gaming studios, try to cater to them, and they kind of fumble. That's kind of what happened with like Concord, for example, as a game, right?
yeah,
And I think that Overwatch had something very similar. I think that Venture would be an example of that.
yeah.
So let's not pretend like it's not the case. Venture was exclusively released for a type of audience that is on the very
Well,
extreme.
I think they could have done. Okay, I think like a no, I feel like a non-binary hero can be like done well, right? Like there's like Pyro from TF2,
I
right?
agree. I agree.
No one knows if it's a girl or it's a boy. It's kind of like a cool little mystery or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a way to do it that could be good, but I do agree there's obviously like a part of it where they're not doing it for the sake of making a cool character design. But I mean I think Venture's okay. But yeah, there is this like whole discourse around it.
Yeah. So that's where.
I mean, it's kind of insane. Like you can't like okay, let's be real. So you're calling it out in the game, and you can't say she or he. It's a bit like, you know, like what are we doing? Like it is
Yeah,
a bit crazy,
but
but
that's exactly what
um,
it is, right? So, but that's the
yeah,
thing. What I was saying is that the Venture has been released, and you said, well, Pyro is a good example. Nobody knows Pyro's gender, right? Well,
yeah,
because nobody talks about Pyro's gender, but you just it's a character with a mask. You just don't know what it is.
yeah,
I remember
yeah,
even back in the day when I played TF2, everybody's like, Pyro is a girl, and like, oh, well, it's a mystery. But the difference
yeah,
is with Overwatch is that it's like exclusively pushed out as Venture is non-binary, you know, like it's the whole
Yeah.
lore behind it, all that stuff. And the thing is, like, where I'm trying to, and that's where I'm kind of like where it's flopped is that, well, Venture is one of the least popular heroes in the game. Almost no
Hmm.
one plays the hero. No skins are being awarded because nobody makes the skins because it's simply not a popular hero, right? And that's where
Yeah.
like it was kind of interesting, and in a sense that's it's like it pushed back on a lot of people thoughts about the community itself. It's like, well, maybe the people who wanted that type of hero and Blizzard kind of bent the knee on making a hero like that, well, I guess it's not that many people who are interested in making, like, you see online we need an LGBT hero, we need this, we need that, we need that, but then when their hero is released, well, no many people play it. So how many people really care about that?
Yeah.
Very little.
Well, I see loads of like venture players on Twitter. Like
Mhm.
every other day I get like someone on my Twitter that's got like a venture profile picture. Their whole account is venture, and
Mhm.
then venture never sells a single fucking skin.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean you're right in that it's obviously they probably thought there was a big audience for it. I mean she's also kind of an interesting hero to play as well. It's kind of insane that no one wants to play her, but like you said, that probably is part of it. There's probably not that big of an audience for it compared to what they think. Um,
Mhm.
but I think adding like one hero like that, I don't think it's too like I don't think they've bent the knee and they've gone woke and everything, right?
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah,
not what I'm saying. I think it's just that there is like a fair critique with saying that, well, game studio like Blizzard has definitely didn't, let's just say, did not help with stopping things from getting politicized. I think that
yeah,
if something like if you compare it like, you know, Counter-Strike or Deadlock or anything, like what is politicized about the game? Like what is politicized about Team Fortress at all? Like when he's can you connect even
yeah.
Team Fortress to politics realistically?
Well, you can, but I think it's not about not involving politics. It's more about not forcing it because okay, like Tracer's gay, right? I think Soldier 76 is gay.
Yeah.
I think that is that. I think they're cool designs, right? They're cool heroes.
Yeah.
Um,
But Soldier
I
was
think
not originally gay, by the way.
well,
Tracer was originally, like when the
well,
hero came out, the lore
well.
was
Didn't
behind
it kind of
Tracer.
come out that he's like gay later on? But like he
Y-
always was.
Yeah,
I'm not.
yeah, they
But
have.
it's like,
But then it's
but
like
I think that's
gay with Reaper, and then it's like, okay, now we have the Life Weaver and we have the Venture. It's like, and now we're making the maps have like the Pride Parade flags and all that stuff. So like, you know, so it's
well. Okay, I don't. I actually like the Pride Parade thing, but I
mhm.
actually think they have no spine. The fact that they disable the Pride maps in certain countries. So
Uh-huh.
if you're playing Midtown and you're in like Saudi Arabia, right?
Yeah.
You don't actually see the confetti. You don't see the rainbow flags, which I think that says everything you need to know. They're not taking a stance. They're not trying to, we want to stand up for these people. It's purely monetary gain,
Oh,
right? When you see something like that, it's like, oh, okay, so they don't actually care, right?
so yeah, so that's the interesting part is that with
Yeah,
that I agree. Like I don't particularly like have an issue per se that, you know, they're doing all like the Parade month or like in the stuff, like it's not, if you like, I don't have to play the game after all, right? But the thing
yeah,
is that it's not well, if you are doing it like halfway, it's clearly so to appease a certain
yeah,
type of audience that pays their bills.
yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, they could have had a backbone, right, and just put it on every country's version of the game. But the fact that they like remove it when you're in like a country, it's like, well, you don't actually care about these people, right? Like, there's no backbone there. It's just completely saying, we want to make a load of money this month. That's basically what they're saying.
yeah.
Um, but
my
yeah,
my personal alternative would be just not to have it in the first place, you know, like in general. It's not even about
yeah,
like the Pride specific stuff. It's not about the like it's not like it should be pure fiction, you know. It should be pure fiction. Like it's a video game. I think that most
yeah.
people
That
play
that
video
is that
games
is true.
to get out of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
real world in a sense, you know. It's a hobby for a lot of people. It's escapism. You're not supposed to have like a video game that connects people throughout the world from different regions, in my humble opinion, politicized. And I think the reason why I mentioned that is because, well, it kind of affects you as a person who's also streaming the game, because now you are sat at one side of the aisle to the point that you actually get death threats about it. And
yeah, yeah,
the thing is, death threats are kind of funny until they aren't. You know,
yeah.
it's like at the end of the day, it's like one out of these 100 people is mentally ill enough to actually do it. You know,
Hmm.
it's entirely possible, right? So now you as a content creator, also have to ask yourself two things. Is number one, well, do you really want to show up, like in any of these events as somebody who you don't even have to be right wing, but like you are by association somehow right wing because you like 6v6. And somebody said that if you're a 6v6, you're a MAGA, you're pro Trump, even though you're from the UK and you completely don't have any, no, don't even vote over there. But also the other thing is like he's very monetary. So I'll give you an example. Do you think that if you censored some of your opinions, do you think you would have more views? Even though I don't think there's any opinions to censor. Like, what do you say that I think that icons were better back then?
I don't know. Would I have more views if I censor myself? I don't think so. But
okay.
I'm trying to think. Let me think. Well, I'd have drops from Blizzard, right? Which in turn, but I don't know. The thing is, it's a lot of this stuff is like it's such a vocal minority. It's insane. It's like it's such a minority of people, but it's always the loud minority on like Twitter, social media, anywhere. I think 99% of people would see my tweet. If my tweet was on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Everyone in the comments would be agreeing. They'd be saying, "Yeah, fuck flats. I hate that guy." All this stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And then on Twitter, it's literally the complete opposite. So, yeah, I mean, I think most people don't actually care about a lot of this stuff, right? It's very much a suit like you said. It's literally like 1% of the people making 99% of the noise. Because at least for me, I personally like I never comment. Do you like comment on things online? Like I never comment.
No,
I don't
not really. It depends. Sometimes I mean I do it from sometimes like self gain in a way. I mean I'll comment on something because I think that sometimes people like to hear my opinion about it. Perhaps.
Would you comment not on your awkward account?
No.
As if you're a random person.
No.
So like how many people are out there making random comments in comment sections and tweets with like no followers? Like what percent of the population is making those tweets?
Very
it's probably
low.
like 0.01 is making 99% of those posts,
I mean, I think you're right, and it's like it's kind of. I definitely think that I think there's just tons of bot farms when it comes to social media.
Yeah, I wanted to get into this a little bit. I always thought that was a little bit schizo, right?
Yeah.
But with AI getting better and better, obviously you can make stuff look more realistic. I was reading some of the Reddit posts about my tweets, and there was many comments, like just straight up like insulting me, and this was for me saying that I don't like ranked, and there was people straight up saying like he's disgusting, he's horrible, and all this, right? And then some guy on my Discord went through them. And loads of them were like a month-old Reddit account with like 10 million karma, whatever that does.
Okay.
But that means I think they've been posting loads. And every
comment... No, you got many like karma is like how many likes compared to dislikes you have.
Yeah. And every comment had 6 upvotes each. The exact same amount.
Yeah.
And I was reading it and I was like, man, are these actually bots? Like I don't want to believe it. But do you think companies nowadays genuinely like have bots like doing massive things online for them, like massive campaigns?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Dude, I mean,
I believe it. I believe it.
I think it became also like I think it started to affect like if I were to look at the root when it started, I think it was just foreign countries trying to change the outcome of some politics, right?
Yeah.
For foreign assets. But then when you take a look at it, it started like in social media, it has different things like clipping, for example. Clipping is also a form of bot farming stuff when you think about it, right? So of course, yeah, and I mean content creators, companies, they do it all the time. Like
I think they probably outsource it, right? I'm guessing they sort of they like disassociate it from themselves. I bet they're paying. I bet in a few years, maybe even soon, there'll be like some kind of company that's like like some massive company that gets exposed that this is essentially a bot farm company, and all the top people are paying them to basically just spread positivity or whatever negativity about certain people,
Yeah.
just through the internet. I do think it's gonna be a massive scandal. I agree. I'm starting to believe that every brand is starting to do this. I do actually think it's a real thing.
Yeah.
Because they always did it with followers. Like you buy followers, you buy likes.
You buy
V-Bot,
Google reviews for your restaurant as well. Used to be
yeah,
a thing.
yeah. Well, bro, when I started like doing my own like business stuff, I started finding out, oh wait, all the reviews are just straight up fake. Every company, they don't actually have real reviews. Every time you read a review on a website, it's just fake. Um,
It's
and
true.
I mean, you see these sponsors on Twitch, they'll sponsor someone and then they'll view bot the streamer. And it kind of disassociates the streamer from the view botting when it's like, oh, guys, it's the company view bot me or it's a random person view bot me.
Yeah.
It disassociates you from that thing. But yeah, I definitely think there's going to be. Do you genuinely believe that for Overwatch they have like some kind of bot farm?
It's really
It's a
hard
bit.
for me to tell.
Yeah,
Be-
I don't think Overwatch, but
yeah, I don't think Overwatch. I do. I think that. I think that most people who play Overwatch are not even like they like as you said, they don't really comment on things. They
yeah, yeah.
or like if they'll comment, be like LOL. But like sometimes you'll see these like essays, like actual essays. Dude, you're such a piece of shit. I can't believe that you say 6v6. You're such a maga,
Mhm.
and like and sometimes you'll see comment and like okay, I'll tell you what I think happens with Overwatch specifically. It's not bot farms, but I think definitely people buy likes for
Oh yeah,
sure.
Twitter is full of that kind of stuff. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
For sure, for sure. You'll see like a guy make a post and you like it doesn't even make you chuckle and boom, 27K likes. It's like what
Yeah,
bro,
that's very common. Yeah.
what? And it's like related to Overwatch things. And
Mhm.
but yeah, I do think you have to remember that like there's big companies making money out of it. Like you have to remember that Blizzard is not some like just guy. It's a multi-billion-dollar company. So I'm not trying to
Mhm.
accuse them of anything, but you have to understand that there's like a lot of money involved. There's a lot of investors involved, and I think that like a small sway in a company like Blizzard, which isn't even like a top 50 company, right? But they're still worth a lot of money. Like a tiny sway makes individuals tons of money. So I'll give you like it's like kind of a conspiracy, like super conspiracy, like for example, right? But if they've noticed, and I'm again not accusing anything, but I'll say this kind of hypothetically. If, for example, Juno skins exclusively sold to, let's say, gay people, right? Only gay
Mhm.
people buy Juno skins, right? Well, you have to ask yourself as a company, like, do I want to run a propaganda campaign that makes gay people like the game more and play
Mhm.
the game more and waste more money playing the game? This is an example. And
Yeah.
you can make the same example for any other like Asians, for example, Chinese people. If they want to buy this skin, can we make a propaganda campaign to make them buy more? Because we're not talking $10, $100, $1,000. We're talking millions and tens of millions of dollars in revenue, like monthly.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I bet they have whole divisions at Blizzard, and that's their job basically, is to just sit there and do these kind of things for sure. It definitely exists, and yeah, it's probably just going to get worse. Like
Yeah,
as AI gets better, how are you ever going to tell that it's a bot comment? It's only going to get worse. Um, And I mean, yeah, I mean, these like Blizzard is like, I mean, there's probably some countries with a lower GDP than fucking Blizzard, right? There's
yeah,
some small countries out there. So it's like, yeah, if they want to run these campaigns, I mean, they could, right? And they have every reason to, right? There's no, I feel like with a lot of these things, it's like you should assume, okay, would this make them more money from doing this? Yes. Okay, so are they doing it? Probably, because why wouldn't they? Do you
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Over the next years with AI, like how much social media manipulation there's gonna be, because I can't tell. I can't tell if there is much
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. I think I definitely agree with you on that one. So, kind of want to wrap this up with one hot take statement about the drop specifically. I think that if you're a streamer that needs drops in the first place, you're probably not gonna live long term. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a handout, like the drop stuff. Yeah, it's good to increase your revenue, but like if you're banking on people coming to you through drops, yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's true, but I'm sure they probably acknowledge that. You might. I
yeah.
mean, you might as well farm it while it's there.
Oh, of course.
Um, yeah, I don't blame anyone for taking drops, right, and farming
Yeah.
drops. I have a bit of a problem if you're already like a super high view streamer and
Hmm.
you are doing like 24 hours, AFK drop streams.
Yeah.
It's like, do you need to be doing that if you've already got thousands and thousands and thousands of viewers? Taking it away from smaller creators or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it's good for smaller creators for sure. And it makes them speak good about your game, obviously. So it's realistically, it is a win-win. I mean, I had a lot of people commented saying, I don't know how esports works and stuff, and how this is, great for the esports and all this. And it's like you say, it's like, well, it's not okay. Your number goes up, right, because of the drops, but those aren't real viewers, right?
True.
It's a lot of bots. It's a lot of AFK people, and sponsors will find that out, right? Like they will find that out after they pay a load of money, and then they don't get the kind of click-through rate they were hoping for.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's kind of going to be a big thing on Twitch the next few years, because I think drops has got to the point now where it's like it's just getting insane. The amount of drops games are doing. I mean, Overwatch just has drops constantly. You know what I mean? Like, how
Yeah.
big would the category be without drops? Um,
I'd
but yeah,
estimate
no,
that 80% of the
yeah.
viewers in esports are probably through drops. I think that
Well,
70 to 80% would drop without
that's why I
drops.
was saying CS is quite good, because I think they don't have drops anymore. They completely remove drops.
Yeah.
And they still
It's
get
all
new
organic.
viewers.
It's all organic.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
And
great.
then, I mean, OWCS is organic to a certain degree, but yeah, when you have drops, I mean, what percentage of viewers do you reckon when you have drops?
I think, like for me specifically, or are you talking about the esports?
Yeah, like esports, like
Uh,
what percentage of the viewers are there
I,
for
I would
drops?
say 80%. It's a crazy number, but I think 80%.
I was gonna say 50, but honestly, yeah, I think it's 80. I genuinely agree. Yeah,
Because
totally.
you can look at the numbers back in the day. How many people when there were no drops? How many viewers were watching?
Yeah,
Not a whole, like literally 4 digits.
yeah, yeah.
You know.
But yeah, I mean, it boosts your numbers, but I think they're probably tricking advertisers right now, and it's probably working to a certain degree. And they're also tricking Twitch as well. Like, the thing is, these drops are probably going to fuck all of Twitch when the sponsors of Twitch catch on that, wait, everyone's just fucking AFK.
Yeah.
Like 90% of Twitch is literally AFK.
Yeah.
It's like they're gonna catch on eventually, and then everyone's fucked. And I definitely think that's gonna happen at some point with drops. There's gonna be a Twitch recession,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but I think that advertisers know there, so they're like, there must be something going on there. I think that advertisers
Yeah.
are not stupid. People don't want to burn their money like out of nowhere. So I think they know. I think there's something deeper there. There's like perhaps a stat that we're not aware of.
Yeah, they might have the stats on different things for sure. Like maybe these big drop streams, maybe they get way less ad revenue. Like maybe they're not making much at all.
Maybe they pay to put into public perception. Like think about like football games and having
Yeah.
McDonald's in the background. It's not like you watch because you get a McDonald's drop, but hey, like you watch a football, you see it in the background, and then you're hungry. Like, oh, what should I eat? McDonald's. I mean, you're just kind of
Yeah,
subconscious.
yeah. Okay.
With that being said, one last question. That's more of a kind of a personal one. Do you still play Deadlock, right?
Not really. I'm a one trick of any game I play. So like if I'm playing
Oh,
Overwatch,
shit.
like I'm just playing Overwatch. Yeah, I'm
Oh.
not playing Deadlock right now.
I played off stream almost every night. I was like, I wanted to ask
really?
if you'd like to play off stream or something.
I mean,
Looking-
I'm down because there's a new update, right? I'm kind of waiting for a new hero, to be honest. I think there's some coming soon.
What do you play? You play Viper?
Well, I'm a Lash OTP. Like that was
Mhm.
99% of my playtime. But
Mhm.
then I play Proxy Viper and Troll Doorman. If you've seen, I'm not sure if have you
I
seen
watch.
the builds.
I watch. I watch your stuff, man, all the time.
Thank you.
And yeah, you're a Turnus, I'm assuming, right? Turnus 6.
Yeah, Turner 6. Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
I mean, actually, Deadlock had the same problem, by the way. I hit a Turner 6 used to be maybe like 5 players on one region,
Mhm.
and I hit it, and I felt amazing. Like I felt 10 out of 10, right?
Yeah.
And then I played Rivals, and then I came back to the game a few months later. There's like 100 people a turn of 6. Metro's a turn of 6, right? Um,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, okay, so I've worked so hard. I was so happy, and now my rank literally means fucking 0.
Well,
I'm in Metro low.
so you're gonna like the new update, man. They completely reset their ranks. There's only one person, and it turns 1 right now, like 1 person.
Well, we'll see because it could boost over time. But
Maybe.
yeah, I mean, I hope they just do this right now and then they just leave it forever. You know what I mean? Like never change it.
Yeah.
Keep it the same. So, in 10 years, Eternus means the exact same thing it meant, right now.
No, I'm not a
Um,
Turnus, I'm Ascendant, but to be fair, I don't have a lot of hours. I think I have like 250 hours.
I mean,
Yes.
for 250 hours is good.
Yeah.
I do think it's very much like it's way more of a hero shooter than a MOBA. I think people think MOBA players are gonna be better, but you need the FPS mechanics. Like you actually need those FPS mechanics, otherwise you're fucked.
Yeah, the MOBA is like, especially the macro, I think like understanding to fix waves, when to push waves, when to pull back from waves, playing objective, like knowing
The
when to
thing
mid
is,
boss.
you can learn that, but the mechanics takes like thousands of hours.
Yeah.
To get good FPS mechanics. Like I think a League of Legends player playing Overwatch
Hmm.
is going to be completely fucked, right? Whereas
Yeah.
an Overwatch player playing League could probably learn decently fast.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. All right, Chazm, was great talking to you, man, and I'm
All right,
glad
GG,
to,
man.
yeah, so always excited talking to you. I always like to hear your perspective. I think also you're getting
Thanks, bro.
traction, and and I'm rooting for your influencer arc, Merrick. I think, so yeah, you can shout out yourself if you'd like.
Come follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
Chazm, or in Twitter, Chazm _
Yeah, it's all
ball.
Chazm _ ball.
All right.
Yeah, that's
All
about
right.
it.
Awesome, man. Great talking to
All
you,
right.
man, and you have a good day. And I hope maybe we can play Deadlock off stream.
Yeah, I'm actually down. I haven't played the updates yet, so
All right.
I'm 100% down to play it.
Have a good one, man.